So let's start with recap. Okay. In the last class, what we basically did was quick sort. So to understand quick sort, we started with something called nuts and bolts problem. We saw this thing that there are, k nuts and k bolts, right? K nuts and k bolts, and the target was to find a perfect matching nut for each bolt, right? So there we looked at, we've slowly developed the whole logic, but the final logic was that pick a nut and a bolt, pick a bolt and a nut, right? Pick a nut, basically find a perfect matching bolt for that. Then you will be able to classify that what all bolts are greater than this nut, what all bolts are less than this nut. Then we said do the same thing with the bolts. Same thing with the bolt. Compare it with all the nuts. You will be able to find out what all nuts are larger than that bolt and what all nuts are smaller than that bolt. So all the nuts and bolts will be divided into two categories. One category will be all the nuts and bolts which are smaller than this pair. Second category will be all the nuts and bolts which are larger than this pair, right? So then we can solve recursively for these two subparts. So that was the idea behind it, behind the nuts and bolts problem. Then we came into this thing that this technique can be used in a way for sorting also. That if we have an array of integers, then we can compare two integers, right? But if we pick a number from the array and basically partition the whole array into two different parts, right? One is the part which is smaller than that number. Second is the part which is larger than that number. But if we partition the array in such a manner, so that is what we did, right? That if we do it like that and then solve recursively for the left part and the right part, we might be able to sort the whole array. This was the idea. And then we basically did some comparison to merge sort, right? I can basically take you back there. Nuts and bolts, one operation, brute force, nuts, bolts, recursion tree. Let's come to quick sort now. Yeah. So we did some comparison that hey, we divide, conquer, and combine. Whereas the main logic in division, there was a main logic, which was the partition. Here in merge sort, the main logic was in combining, which was the merge function. This is what we did, right? And then we looked at how to partition. We said simple hai na, do array banao, right? Small and big. Put all the smaller ones in the small array. Put all the bigger ones in the big array. And then put back the elements from the small array, and then our whole, kind of pivot element, and then the big ones. So yeah, this is what the partition function was. And then we tried to understand the time complexity, which was kind of a nightmare for some people. Did you folks watch the recording again, and were you guys able to better understand? Did you folks watch the recording? The chat off? नहीं, the chat is on. सर 27 का होमवर्क का क्वेश्चन सॉर्ट कैसे हैं? They are in general from sorting Adnan. Okay. Recording ही नहीं देखोगे फिर कैसे? If you don't want to understand it at all, then that is good. Okay, then that is good. It's okay. Not good, then that is okay. But otherwise, if you want to understand, but you are not watching the recording and not solving the problem, फिर कोई पंगा नहीं है. You're right. Reverse pairs is a difficult question. If you are not able to solve it, that is fine. मैंने उनके डालने के बाद रियलाइज किया कि इट्स टफ, इट शुड नॉट हैव बीन गिवन. देन आई वाज लाइक कि चलो डाल दिया तो डाल दिया, कोई बात नहीं, इसको करना होगा, ट्राई कर सकते हैं. ओके. सौम्या, टीएस का काम है ये करना. मैं एक बार बस देख लेता हूँ कि ऑल द प्रॉब्लम्स रेलेवेंट और नॉट. कोई रेलेवेंट नहीं होती है बिल्कुल भी, देन आई आस्क देम टू रिमूव इट. ओके. सो आई एम देयर इन द प्रोसेस, बट इट इज द टीएस जॉब. पहले मैं खुद करता था, बट यार अब आर्टिकल्स पे मैं फोकस कर रहा हूँ, राइटिंग आर्टिकल्स. दैट इज व्हाई आई हैव कम आउट ऑफ दैट. All right, chalo, let's go forward. तो pseudo code का comparison किया between merge sort and quick sort, that we will find the ID from partition and make a recursive call to left part and second part. Okay, then this is what it was, and then we dived into the code after the pseudo code and we saw the code. After the code, we also did one more thing. One more thing that we did was built-in sorts and custom sort. We saw that sort function from C++. We saw arrays dot sort function, right? And we also talked about that there is another function also, which is collections dot sort function in Java, right? So this was there. There was sort function in C++. Okay. Shidab, Faraz sir is good, bhai. Faraz sir is good. All right, chalo. Let's come to today's class now. Okay. इंटरेस्टिंग होगा, राइट? दिमाग खोल के रखना पड़ेगा, ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग इट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग इफ यू जस्ट कीप योर ब्रेन ओपन, राइट? मुंह मुंह धो के आना है, धोना बीच में क्वेश्चन सुनने के बाद, तो इट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग. सो गुड प्रॉब्लम्स टुडे, वी विल सॉल्व एज मेनी एज वी कैन. ओके, तीन चार जितने भी कर पाए, तीन कर पाए वैसे इट्स गुड. आई थिंक जनरली थ्री इज अ गुड नंबर, बट लेट्स सी, विल ट्राई एज मेनी एज वी कैन. चलो लेट्स गेट स्ट्रेट इनटू इट. द डिफिकल्टी लेवल विल इंक्रीज वन बाय वन. कोई प्रॉब्लम बहुत ईजी होगी, आई वोंट डू द कोड फॉर इट. नहीं छोड़ा भाई लर्नयार्ड. आज की क्लास वही लेने वाला था, तो मैं बोला मैं ले लेता हूँ 2 दिन और, कोई नहीं. बाइनरी सर्च से बोलेगा. ओके, बाइनरी सर्च से ही विल टेक, बिकॉज सॉर्टिंग मैंने स्टार्ट कर दिया था. तो 2 classes I will take, and then Saturday onwards binary search he will take. All right. Okay. So let me turn off the chat now. आप लोग बकचोदी करते रहोगे. See, we will start with a few problems. Okay, I will share the problems. We will discuss the logic. There are a couple of problems which are very very basic, right? तो उनका कोड वोड दिखा दूंगा, करने में टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करेंगे, so that we can solve more problems. Okay, that is there. The good ones we will definitely code. The good ones we will definitely code. Let's start with the first problem now. So the first problem, folks, is something called qualification to pre-elimination. Okay, it is a code chef problem. I will share the, I have just shared the problem link with you folks. Okay, let me just open the problem on Chrome and share that Chrome tab with you. So new share, qualification to pre-elimination. Okay, so yes, I accidentally, I did not share the, I think, problem link with you. I accidentally shared it with hosts and panelists. Now the link should be visible to you. I think यार यहाँ पे ना emojis का option आना चाहिए. Let me check कि emojis का option नहीं आता यहाँ पे. So that you can, you know, interact with me using emojis. Function की, अरे नहीं नहीं नहीं, your function key से तो आ जाता है, that I know. So even if I close the chat for you, I was just looking if there can be an emojis option where you can still interact with me on emojis, right? हेलो हेलो हेलो. हाँ, आ रही है मेरी आवाज. सो दैट लेट्स से कभी आवाज ना आ रही हो तो यू स्टार्ट डूइंग थम्स डाउन थम्स डाउन थम्स डाउन. और इफ आई एम आस्किंग कि लिंक इज विजिबल, स्क्रीन इज विजिबल, यू कैन डू थम्स अप थम्स अप समथिंग लाइक दैट. इट्स ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम, आई फिगर इट आउट. All right, let's look at the problem. So see folks, problem statement says there is this competition called Snackdown. That competition is coming. The competition has 2 rounds, round A and round B after the qualification round. From both of them, teams can qualify to the pre-elimination round. So there are 2 rounds, round A, round B, right? Uske baad, teams can qualify for the pre-elimination round. Now, according to the rules, in each of these 2 rounds, teams are sorted in decreasing order of their score. Okay, so the one with the largest score is the first, of course, and each team with a score greater than or equal to the score of the kth team, k equals to 1500th place, advances to the pre-elimination round. So they are saying कि what we do ना, कि हम decreasing order of score में teams को लिख देते हैं, right? They write the team names in decreasing order of their score, and then they check that on the kth place, on the 1500th place, whatever is the team number. So whatever is the team number with 1500 rank, they look at that team's score. So whatever teams have a score of greater than or equal to that score, then they will advance. So now because that is the case, it is possible that more than k teams qualified from each round, because if there are ties there. Okay, I'll give you an example also here, then you will maybe understand in a little better manner. Today the organizers ask you to count the number of teams which would qualify for the pre-elimination round for a given value of k, possibly different from 1500. They provided the scores of all teams to you. You should ensure that the teams scoring at least as many points as the kth team qualify. So basically what they're saying is that first thing that there will be multiple test cases. There will be multiple test cases. All right. इसको ना कोड को हेड में हटाते हैं, पहले कोड ही दिख जा रहा होगा आपको. There can be multiple test cases. In each test case, you will have two spaced integers n and k. Okay, two spaced integers n and k. With n is the number of teams, n is the total number of teams participating in that particular test case, and k is the the threshold rank basically. Then the next line contains scores of all the n teams. Okay, so there are these constraints also that you can go through. Okay, now here what they are saying is there are two test cases, 5-1 and this one. So in 5-1 basically means that there are five teams and only the first rank team will be saw. So if the first rank team we see, right, if we sort all of these scores in decreasing order, it will be 5-5, it will be 5-5, 4-3-2, correct? मेरे को ना एक बार पूरी स्क्रीन शेयर करने दो. I think then it will be visible to you. I have मतलब the scores will be 5-5, 4-3-2, right? If we sorted in the decreasing order. Now if we look at the first rank team, this will be the first rank team. इसका score कितना है? 5 है. So now they're saying count the number of teams, right? Like whatever the teams have scored greater than or equal to the score, they will qualify. So can you tell me quickly what will be the answer for this? I think लिखा ही हुआ वैसे तो answer, but you are able to identify the answer for this will be what? Abhay is saying 1, rest of the people are saying 2. So अबे गलती कर रहे हो मेरे भाई, the answer will be 2 because there are two teams which have a score greater than equal to 5. तो यहाँ से आपने स्कोर उठाया, then you look at the number of teams which have a score greater than equal to 5. There are two teams. Okay. Zoom कर देते हैं थोड़ी. Now next test case is 6-5-4-3-2-1. So next test case is 6-5-4-3-2-1. इसमें they are saying 4. So fourth rank वाली team देखो भाई. This is a 1 rank, 2 rank, 3 rank, 4 rank. Okay. So fourth rank team's score is how much? 3. And k value is 4 only. So इसका score हमने निकाले 3. Now basically we have to simply count that how many teams have a score greater than or equal to 3. So in this case there are 4 teams only. There is no other team having a score greater than or equal to 3. So then our answer will be 4. Let me give you an example. Let's say the example is n is equal to something. I'll tell the n value later on. Let's say the k value is equals to, the k value is let's say equals to maybe 5. Now here if I tell you 1, let's say the scores are 10, 8, 7, 10, 5, 4, 5. Okay. So now here if you rank them, it will come like 10, 8, 7, 5, 5, 4, 4, 3. Correct? So now 5 आ रहे हैं यहाँ पे. Let's say 4, let's say 4, एक सेकंड, 10 10 हाँ 10 10 ऊपर आएगा. 5 आ रहे हैं यहाँ पे. Correct? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So fifth rank team has a score of 5 only. मान लो यहाँ पे 4 होता मान लो, तो fifth rank team has a score of 4 only. Now how many teams have a score of greater than or equal to 4? ये सारी 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams. So the answer for this will be 8 and not 5. I hope the problem is clear, folks. I hope it is clear. सोच लिया solution? Have you folks thought of the solution? Yes बोल रहे हैं लोग, कुछ लोग नहीं बोल रहे हैं. Does anybody want to come and share the solution? Svedika has raised their hand. Svedika, do you want to share the solution? Do you know how to solve it, or did you raise your hand to ask something? Svedika, we cannot hear you, Svedika. All right, I will maybe let somebody else speak. Abhay raised the hand after that. I'll let Abhay speak.
Sir, we can start by sorting the given array.
Okay.
And then and then we will find out the index or the position that we are trying to find.
What
And
is the position?
the kth value that we are given
Yeah,
for
yeah. Which index? Which index? Let's say you sort the array. Will you
yes,
sort the array in increasing order or decreasing order?
in the decreasing order, sir.
Okay, you will sort the array in decreasing order. Okay, the first step is sort in decreasing order. All right, ठीक है कर दिया. Decreasing order में sort करने का आपको आता है? We discussed yesterday, right? That you can use a comparator to do it.
Yes, sir. After sorting the array, we will look all those elements which are greater than or equals to k, and we will keep on increasing the count value for that.
No, 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 no. Greater than equal to k. You will just
Yes.
find the elements which are greater than equal to k.
नो नो सॉरी सर, मतलब kth एलिमेंट का हम लोग वो ले लेंगे, kth
Kth
इंडेक्स का
element कैसे
एलिमेंट ले
निकालोगे?
लेंगे.
Kth element कैसे निकालोगे? ARR what will be equal to?
एयर ऑफ k minus 1.
K minus 1. Correct. Because the first element is at index 0.
0.
Right? Second element is at index. Second element
फर्स्ट
is at index 1. Right? तो ऐसे करते करते the kth element will be at index k minus 1. Okay. तो k minus 1th index वाला element निकालोगे. Right? You will get the value of, let's say, ARR k minus 1. Just simply count now that how many elements are there in the whole array which are greater than or equal to ARR k minus 1. Right? That is your answer. ठीक है ना बे?
यस सर.
Yeah. कर लोगे कोड? I think this is a very simple code. I think you should be able to code it. All right, all right. Kunal is saying first we need to fetch the element, then sort it. Right? No, Kunal. We need to get the kth largest score. Okay, we need to get the kth largest score. So we can simply sort it and then get the k minus 1 index wala element. So before sorting, if you take the team of the kth team, then you will get a score of a random team. That will not be of any use. Okay. So I am disabling talking for you. Thank you for the answer. If we have duplicate of kth element, तभी तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. तभी तो भाई बोला. If we have duplicate, तभी तो this is why this question exists. I am not going to explain it any further. Honestly speaking, this is a very simple problem for people who have done the homework. So that is why I am not dignifying these doubts. You have to try this on your own. Take it as a punishment from me. कि मैं तो ऐसे ही हूँ, मैं नहीं बता रहा. Okay, so this is something that you have to try. I am going to move forward. Whenever there is a genuine problem that needs sorting, that needs explaining, I will do. But sometimes you have to push your limits. So this is that problem. If you are not able to solve it, it's like a wake up call for you that it is very easy. You have to do better. You have to do better. This should be very easy for people who have solved at least 80% of the problems. Who have solved at least 80% of the homework. जिसने 80% होमवर्क कर लिया उसके लिए तो ये पीस ऑफ केक होना चाहिए. So I think if I go into it ना, चलो I am not sure. I think ये contest का भी पहला problem था. Not sure about it. Anyway, चलो let us go back to the iPad and try to solve the next problem. So next problem ना is a problem that has two parts. Okay. Yogesh is like ये तो नींद में ही मिलेगा भाई साहब. Nazia code I will share after the class. Okay. So for this particular problem, try it on your own after the class. I will share the code after the class. Why is this the iPad is not getting shared? Let me try again. Okay, getting shared. All right. Chalo. So the next problem, folks, next problem is the part one of the problem that we are going to solve, basically an easier version. Okay. Let's try to do it. Let's try to do it. The problem basically says that you will be given an array of integers. Okay. Given an array of integers. What you have to do is you have to consider all the pair of elements. Okay. All the pair of elements. Let's say let's say for an example, if the array is maybe 10, 1, 15, 7, 8. Okay, 15, 7, maybe 20, then 8. Just taking an example. So you need to consider all the pairs of elements. So if you look at all the pairs, now what will be the pairs, all the pairs of different elements where I is not equal to j, right? So this element and this element can make a pair. This and this can make a pair. This and this can make a pair. This and this can make a pair. So basically all. So if you know basic, combinatorics, the number of pairs will be nc2. Number of ways to choose two elements from n elements, which is going up to be n to n minus 1 by 2. So this is basically what it is. Something like that. Okay. The target is that out of all the pairs, right? Consider all the pairs. Look at what their absolute difference is. Okay. Look at what their absolute difference is. What we need to do is now we need to return or we need to print the minimum absolute difference among all the pairs. So for example, if these are the 5 or 6 elements, इसको एक को हटा देते हैं हम, थोड़ा छोटा कर देते हैं काम अपने लिए. Let's say these are the 5 elements. Okay, so if I consider all the pairs will be 10, 15. What is the absolute difference between 10 and 15? 5. Next will be 10 and 7. What is the absolute difference? 3. Then 10 and 20. कितना हो जाएगा? 10. Right? Then 10 and 8. 10 and 8. कितना हो जाएगा? 2. Then 15 and 7. How much? 8. Then 15 and 20. 15 and 20. How much? 5. Then 15 and 8. How much? 7. Right? So ऐसे करते 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 ऐसे करते 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 15 and 8 के बाद क्या हो जाएगा? सॉरी, 15 and 8 के बाद क्या हो जाएगा? We will reach 7 and 20. 7 and 15 and 8 पे पहुंच गए. Am I done with everything? कुछ मिस तो नहीं कर दिया? 10, 15, 10, 7, 10, 20, 10, 8. ठीक है. 15, 7, 15, 20, 15, 8. ओके. अच्छा ठीक है, 3 और बचे ना. 7, 20, 7, 8. ठीक है. 7, 20, 13, 7, 8, 1 only, and then 28. How much? 12. तो जो भी हमारे पास एब्सोल्यूट डिफरेंसेस आए उसमें से मिनिमम वाला इज व्हाट वी वांट. Minimum wala is what we want. So in this case, the minimum wala will be 1. So 1 is our answer. So our answer in this case is 1. You get the problem? I hope the problem is clear. 10, 15, 15, 10 में यार same मान लो, different मान लो, doesn't matter. Why? Because the absolute difference will be same only for 10, 15 also and 15, 10 also. Absolute difference is easy peasy, right? Easy peasy, right? After that, we will, increase the difficulty level a little bit. Consider these two as warm-up problems. Okay, I am glad that you folks are finding it easy. Brute force is n square, correct? Brute force is O of n square. Go to all the possible pairs, find its absolute difference, and keep taking minimum. But this is not what we want. Somebody is asking, do we need to return the pair or the difference? We just need to return the difference. We just need to return the difference. Okay. You're right. Somebody is saying if we sort n log n, okay. Let me, so if there is anybody who want to answer, please answer. If there is there anybody who wants to answer? Okay, I will let Tejaswini, you can speak.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, so I think we can sort the array first, and then we can take the difference between the zeroth element and the first element.
So you are saying the difference between the zeroth element and the first element will be the answer.
Yeah, because if we sort, the smallest element
Hmm.
will be at index 0, and the
Correct.
next smallest element will be at index 1.
Correct. That is correct. But why? Just try to think. Don't look at the chat. Okay. Just try to think yourself that why will the difference between smallest and second smallest will be the answer. So I'll give you an example. Here the smallest number is 7. The second smallest is 8. What if this 8 was equal to, let's say this 8 was not equal to 8. Let's say if this was equal to maybe 19. Okay. So in
Right.
that case, the according to your logic, let's say this was 19. According to your logic, the smallest is 7, second smallest is 10. The answer will be
3.
according to you. But that is
Yeah.
not the case. Answer is 20 minus 19, 1,
Right.
right? So that is not correct. Think about it.
Okay.
Okay, I'll give another chance to somebody else. Let's give Deepak a chance. Yes, Deepak, you can speak.
Yes, I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, so like the first solution comes which is my we can iterate over the complete array that will be solved inside the like n square.
Yes, that is correct.
And the
Sorry, what did you say? Brute force of n square. That is what you said, right?
right, the brute force. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And the second logic which I as of now I'm able to think like what we can do. But there is a trick which you already mentioned, like if you change it 8. So I'm just thinking about that, like how then what we can do.
It's okay. Think about it, Deepak. It's okay. We need a better solution. Okay. I'll disable talking for you. You can think in the meantime. In the meantime, I'll give somebody else a chance to speak.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'll give Kanishk a chance. After that, we will think. Okay. Last chance to Kanishk. Yes, Kanishk, go on.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Yes,
Uh,
Kanishk.
so, what I can think is that first sort the array.
Okay.
Keep, start from ith one till the end, and keep on counting like ith zero से start करो, and then count. Keep the taking the adjacent like difference between adjacent numbers and store the mat dot like minimum of all the numbers. So the difference.
Right.
Keep the
That is
track of the
correct.
minimum and then return the minimum.
That is correct, Kanish. That is correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
चलो, let's see. See, पहले तो जो sorting sorting बोल रहे हैं सब लोग, okay, sorting का फायदा क्या हो रहा है? The fundamental benefit of sorting, folks, is na, that it will bring the elements which are close to each other, which are the values of which are not further apart, closer to each other. For example, if because it sorts the elements in increasing order, so after 7 we will have the value which is just larger than 7, correct? For 8 in the sorted order, the element which will be before 8 will be the element which is just smaller than 8. Okay, and after 8 we will have the value which is just larger than 8, which is 10. So the elements which are the closest to each other, they will come adjacent. Unfortunately, I don't have to link. I have the link for this particular problem. Don't worry. Part 2, I have the link for. We will solve part 2. Okay. You're right. If you want, you can take from this particular. Yes, this is the link. No, minimum absolute difference lead code wala I think will not work. That is the part. That is a different name. Find all the pairs with the minimum absolute difference of any two. अच्छा ये सारे pairs निकालने वाले. हाँ, okay. Right. This is another problem. This is but the HackerRank wala is good. HackerRank wala you can use if you want to. All right. What if all the elements are same? If all the elements are same, then the answer will be 0. Okay. All right. So Bhargav, already the solution has been told. That is good that you have already solved it, which is good. But solution has already been told by what do we call Kanishk. So sort करने से पहले तो क्या होगा? That the elements which are closer in value to each other will come adjacent to each other. So once you sort this element, sort this array, it will change to 7, 8, 10 और क्या है 15, 20, right? 15, 20. So yeah, this is it. This is what it will change to. All right. So now the thing is, if you notice any two consecutive numbers here, right? So if you notice 8, so what I am basically trying to say is, if now what we can do is now we can only find the differences between the adjacent numbers. Okay. So sort in increasing order without any custom comparator, normal sorting in increasing order. Then look at the differences of the adjacent numbers. So now my hypothesis is that if you only look at the differences of the adjacent numbers, it should be enough. Why? The logic behind that is, okay, think about it carefully. ठीक है, ऐसी चीजों को ना फर्स्ट प्रिंसिपल से रीजन आउट करने की कोशिश करा करो कि why is this the case. ऐसा नहीं कि लग रहा है तो सही ही होगा. So now here the thing is, if you look at any two consecutive numbers, okay, let's say these two are consecutive, any two adjacent numbers, 8, 10. So now I am saying कि यार 8 और 10 का, right, like for this particular number 8, right, like in general, if I talk in general, if it, let's say the array is sorted, in general, if I talk about any number a of I, what we are doing is, what I am saying you is, here a of I का just take the difference with a of I plus 1 and a of I minus 1, बाकी किसी से लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. Correct? That is what I am telling you. That sort the array, then take the difference with a of I, take the absolute difference only with a of I minus 1, the just left वाला, and with a of I plus 1, the just right वाला. और किसी के साथ absolute difference लेने की जरूरत नहीं है a of I का. Only this is fine, right? That is why when we are doing adjacent differences, so for a of I, we only consider the numbers a of I minus 1 and a of I plus 1, nothing else, correct? The logic behind that is, if you look at all the other numbers which are coming behind, which are coming before a of I plus 1, these numbers will definitely be less than equal to a of I minus 1, correct? These numbers that are coming before a of I minus 1 will definitely be less than equal to a of I minus 1. Right? Number line पे सोच के देखो यार, यहाँ पे कहीं a of I है because the array is sorted. यहाँ पे कहीं, let's say there is a of I minus 1, and all the other numbers which are on the left will be less than or equal to a of I minus 1 only. They will be somewhere between this range only. Now I am saying कि if I look at this particular difference, right, this will be the smallest na. If I take the difference between a of I and any other number, वो इससे तो बड़ा ही होगा. Getting my point or not, folks? Is this logic getting in your mind or not? Because it is sorted, that is why. तो इसके पहले जो भी कोई नंबर है, if you like taking the difference of a of I with any of those numbers is not required, because a of I minus 1 will give us the best possible answer, right, from this whole part. And similarly, a of I plus 1 is a just larger number. अब इसमें से इन दोनों में से कौन सा a of I के पास है, that is something that we don't know, right? Right, if this is 10, this could be 9 and this could be 15, right? So 9 is more closer. Let's say this is 10, right? It could be possible that this is 9 and this is 15, right? Now this could be closer and this could be farther, but it is also possible कि अगर ये 10 है तो ये क्या पता 5 हो, ये क्या पता 11 ही हो, and this is closer. तो these two we need to check कि यार एक particular number के just पीछे वाले और just आगे वाले में से कौन सा मेरे पास में है. But other numbers we don't need to check. This is why sorting is helping us, because it is arranging the numbers in increasing order. Okay, I hope this is clear. Is the solution clear, folks? again, I don't think, doing the code for this particular problem is required. I think it is very simple, but yet I will simply show you the code in Java. Okay? Java का कोड दिखा देता हूँ फटाफट से. दिखाने में क्या जाता है, फटाफट से दिखा देता हूँ. I'm not doing the code. I'm just showing you the code. Let me share the screen. प्रॉब्लम लिंक मांग रहे हैं लोग, सो प्रॉब्लम लिंक यार लोगों ने शेयर किया हुआ है ऊपर. जीएफजी वाला प्रॉब्लम लिंक शेयर किया ना किसी ने. जीएफजी वाला नहीं, जो हैकर रैंक वाला शेयर किया, दैट इज करेक्ट. सो हैकर रैंक वाला इज द करेक्ट प्रॉब्लम लिंक. यस, हैकर रैंक वाला. This one I think. Let me just read it. Given the absolute difference and a positive difference between two values a and b, they're equal. Find the minimum possible absolute value between two. Okay, so we have to print the answer only. So yeah, this is correct. This is what you can try. Anyway, link देख लो. Sorry, code देख लो. Minimum difference part 1. So the problem is simple. This is input taking. The first step is sort the array. Right? Initialize the answer with a very large value because we will be taking min. Now iterate over all the possible, adjacent pair of elements, right? So I will start from 0. We will go until I plus 1 is less than n, right? Because I plus 1 or I का हमने करना है ना, so we will go until I plus 1 is less than n. So we will keep answer equals to min of answer comma ARR of I plus 1 minus error I. You might think कि सर यहाँ पे आपने absolute तो लगाया नहीं. This is why, because we have already sorted the array between ARR I plus 1 and ARR I. ARR I plus 1 will always be the larger one because we have sorted the array. So that is why ARR I plus 1 minus ARR I, writing this much is enough. Okay. And in the end, after we have, considered all the possible pairs of adjacent elements, we are simply printing whatever is the minimum absolute difference, that we had gotten from the possibilities. Clear है जी? Clear है जी? GTG? GG? Yes, you're right. GFG में k equals to 1 होगा. Time complexity will be dependent on the sort's time complexity, right? अब sort की अगर हम n log n मान लें तो n log n. All right. All right. चलो okay. Somebody saying I cannot write any. क्या बोल रहे हो यार? Hacker rank. Min absolute difference ये था ना? So you are saying you can't write. So you have to write it between you have to just write here. You cannot write anywhere else. I think you can only write here. Inside this function you can write. I think you will not be able to. You can write here also. I don't know why are you not able to write. Just maybe refresh or try to log in. This guy used to be my mentor when I interned in HackerRank. I interned in HackerRank for 2 months. So this person used to be my mentor. All right, chalo. Let's go to the next. Sorry, गलत दे दिया. Let's go to the next. लिंक दे दो यार. लिंक बताया तो इतनी बार तो शेयर कर दिया यार. मतलब बाकी लोगों ने शेयर कर दिया. This is the link. Okay. And anyway, the links are going to be shared with you after the class. तो इतना क्यों तावले हो जाते हो? ओके. यार मिन आंसर कोई पूछ रहा है भाई. मिन आंसर का क्या क्या समझाऊं मैं यहाँ पे यार कि मिन ले रहे हैं. आंसर का मिन ले रहे हैं. मिन बिकॉज वी हैव टू आइटरेट एंड कीप टेकिंग मिनिमम because we want to get the minimum absolute difference. एक बार कॉल पे आ जाओ रमीज, आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि व्हाट इज नॉट क्लियर इन इट. कम ऑन कॉल रमीज वंस. रमीज प्लीज कम ऑन कॉल वंस. No, Ganesh, somebody is asking, can you explain Li plus 1 less than n? Think about it yourself. This basic things now you have to try to think about it yourself. Like we have done enough hand holding for 1.5 months, 2 months now. खुद से पढ़ा करो. हाँ बताओ बताओ रमीश. Yes.
Yeah, that answer inside the minimum function, how we are passing the answer.
How we are passing the answer मतलब?
We passed, right? Then how it is taking that minimum.
So
It's
tell me,
making difference between
tell
I
me.
plus 1 minus array of
Yes,
I.
yes.
After that, that answer we are giving input to how we are making.
Tell me this thing, Ramiz. When did you purchase the course?
1 month.
1 month back. So in
Yeah.
1 month, how many classes have you attended?
Yeah, last 1 or 2 weeks only I can't able to attend continuously. Before January I have attended.
January classes you have attended?
Yeah.
Ramesh, this is a very basic thing. This is the thing. This is probably the first question we solved in the whole course, if I can remember it correctly. That given two numbers, find the maximum of it, find the minimum of it. That is what we did. Then I explained to you कि यार यहाँ पे इसके लिए ना inbuilt functions भी होते हैं. That you can simply use this math.min function, जिसका काम ही यही है that you pass two numbers to it and it will return you the minimum number. This is a very basic question, Ramesh. Honestly speaking, this is a very basic question. You need to practice more. देखो बाकी सब लोग भी बोल रहे हैं थोड़ा सा जो क्वेश्चंस हैं प्रैक्टिस किया करो. मेरे को ऐसा लगता है आप प्रैक्टिस नहीं करते, आप होमवर्क प्रॉब्लम्स करते हो. रमीज.
Sorry, I don't know Hindi. Only
Okay,
English.
do you do homework problems?
No,
No,
not
right? So
English.
this won't work out in that manner, Ramesh bhai. You'll have to do
Yeah,
homework. You have to put in hard work.
yeah. Tomorrow onwards start.
Yeah, please. It is for your own good, right? मतलब honestly
Yeah,
speaking, it
yeah.
is for.
Yes, understand. Yeah, due to work, I missed that.
Atik bhai hesitate. Yeah, please hesitate. चलो ओके. फॉर लूप में i+1 कैसे लिख लेते हैं बताइए. ऐसे लिख लेते हैं भाई, देखो लिखा हुआ है आपके सामने लिखा हुआ है, ऐसे लिख देते हैं. ठीक है. You can just write an expression that if this expression until this expression is true, until then the uh, loop has to run. चलो, I think not entertaining more problems right now, more question right now. ये जो छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं कि ये कैसे कर लिया वे कैसे कर लिया, दे आर वेरी वेरी बेसिक थिंग्स दैट यू नीड टू फिगर आउट ऑन योर ओन. सारी सारी एक एक छोटी छोटी चीजें बताने लग गया, then honestly it is not going to work out in that manner. Okay, so एक एक छोटी छोटी चीज बताना is good, but only until a point, not always. All right, I am moving on to the next problem now. Moving on to the next problem now. Let me turn off the chat for a while. ठीक है, then we'll come back. All right, so again, next problem is also okay, right? Not very hard, but not very easy as well. So the problem says you are given an array of n integers and a positive number k. Okay, an array of n integers and a positive number k. So now earlier we had to only look at all the pairs of elements, that we can select any two elements, right? In whatever way we can select any two elements, in whatever way we can select pairs of elements. We look at the absolute difference of the in the pairs and find the minimum. So now what they have changed is now, instead of taking pair of elements now we can take any k integers from the array. Earlier we could take two integers from the array. now we can take any k integers from the array. You can select any k integers from the array. The task is to find the minimum possible value of the difference between the maximum and minimum of the k numbers. थोड़े से चक्कर आ गए होंगे शायद, एग्जांपल लेके समझाते हैं. ओके, सो नाउ let's take an example. In this particular example, if you see, they are saying that there are 7 elements and the k value is 3. So that means basically you can take any 3 elements, right? If you want to take 3 elements from these 7 elements, there will be a lot of possibilities, right? You can take 10, 10, 300, 200, right? 10, 300, 200 you can take. If we take 10, 300, 200, let me go back to the iPad and explain. Let me go back to the iPad. So the array as we have just seen, इसको कर देते हैं move to trash. This is our problem. So yeah, so we know that n is equals to 7, comma k is equals to 3, and the array is 10, 100, 300, 200, 1000, 20, 30. All right. Just for your reference, I am giving the link to the problem as well. Okay. Yeah, link to the problem is also given now. So coming back to the iPad. Now here, if we look at it, what we can do is we can pick these 3. We can pick, there are a lot of possibilities, right? If we pick these 3, let's say this one, and this one, this, and this. Can you tell me the difference between maximum and minimum? Maximum and minimum of these 3. What is the difference? Difference between the maximum of these 3 and minimum of these 3. Correct, 290, because the maximum is 300. The minimum in these 3 is 10. Kitna difference ho gaya? 290. All right. If we take 1, 2, 3, then what is the difference? 1, 2, 3. What is the difference? 900, correct? This is the maximum, this is the minimum. We can take any k, right? Let's say we take 300, 200, 1000. Then the difference is 800. Let's say we take 100, 200, 300. The difference is what? 200. Correct? 300 maximum minus minimum 100. The difference will be 200. So if you look at all the possible options, right? Look at all the possible options. Can you tell me that what will be the minimum value of this difference? इसको बोलते हैं range. What is the minimum possible value? हमने अभी इतनी सारी values देखी ना, that hey, if we take 10, 100, 300, right, then the difference is what? 290. If we take 100, 200, 300, then the difference is what? 200. If we take, sorry, yes, 200. If we take 300, 200, 1000, then the difference is 800, right? We looked at several different cases. So in my opinion, if we take 10, 20, 30, that is the best case scenario. If we take 10, 20, 30, that is the best case scenario. In that case, the difference will be only and only 20. So 20 will be our answer. Samjhe? Samjhe? Now the constraints given are that n can be up to 10 to the power 5. Can be up to 10 to the power 5. K can go up to n, right? And these are the constraints, right? So this is the problem. Anybody who wants to share the solution can raise their hands. Raise your hand only if you know the solution. Only if you know the optimized solution. Only then raise your hand. Raise your hand if and only if you know the optimized solution. Otherwise, please unraise your hand. Okay, I will let Manmeet speak. Manmeet. Yes, Manmeet.
So we can sort the given array in non-decreasing order,
All right.
and then we can find the minimum difference, and like we can iterate the array from 0 to n minus k.
All right.
So for each iteration, we will calculate the difference between maximum and minimum element of the uh, current subarray.
Let's say you are at an index I. So what will you look at? Difference between which two elements? You said you will iterate over the array from 0 to n minus I. Sorry, n minus k, correct? So according to what you are telling me, you will go from I equals to 0 to I less than or equal to n minus k, correct? That is what you told me.
Yes.
Can you tell me that when you are at an index I, so what will be according to you the maximum and the minimum element? जिसका आप difference देखो.
So like मतलब ऐसे डिफरेंस निकालेंगे is equal to 0 to n minus k में, so डिफरेंस होगा like I plus k minus 1 minus I ऐसा.
A भी बोला करो ना. A of I plus k
A of
minus
हाँ वैसा वैसा.
minus A of I, correct. तो इनका difference का आप minimum लेते रहोगे. This is what you are saying, right?
हाँ हाँ.
All right. All right. Okay. Good. Good. Let me take answer from one more person. Bhumika can speak. Then we will maybe try to brainstorm it ourselves. Yes, Bhumika.
Yes. So first of all, we will sort the array, and then we will loop through the array, and we will in each iteration we will pick the first key elements, and from first key elements, like we will find the minimum and the maximum. Sorry, we do not need to find the minimum and maximum. We will be able to get it from every k elements, the 0th and the element at 0th index and second index would be the minimum and the maximum, and
But you are
that
telling me when k is equal to 3. Talk in general terms. K is not going to be always equal to 3, na?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, in generically, I'm saying, okay. Sorry. Generically, yeah. For every k elements, we have to pick the first element and the k minus 1 element, and that's how we will calculate every time and find out the minimum.
You're right. You're right. The idea is correct, but I'm like still need to think key how will you exactly implement it, right? How will you write the code? You can try to code it on your own, right? How will you get the k minus 1 elements? Because if how will you get the k elements? If you always put those k elements in a different array, right? That means you are taking k time to process those elements. So that will be a problem. In that case, your time complexity will be O of n into k.
Yes.
करना पड़ेगा थोड़ा. How can you find just the maximum and minimum without actually putting those into a different array? Why do you have to put it to a different array? Okay. So that is what Manmeet also said. So that is the approach that I'll be continuing to explain. Okay.
Okay.
Chalo. All right. Let me turn speaking for. Let me turn off speaking for Bhumika. All right. क्या हुआ मोई मोई क्यों बोल रहे हो? अच्छा बिकॉज सौम्य का सोल्यूशन गलत हो गया इसलिए. सौम्य नहीं सॉरी अपना भूमिका का इसलिए ऐसे नहीं बोलते. उसने बोला तो सही एटलीस्ट ट्राई तो किया. कोई नहीं. Am I audible, folks? Folks, am I audible? Yes. चलो आई थिंक इट्स इनफ नाउ. दर्शन सबको अनम्यूट नहीं कर पाएंगे भाई, सॉरी. आई थिंक वी ऑलरेडी हैव अ सॉल्यूशन फ्रॉम Manmeet, right? Let me explain it now. Let me turn off the chat for everybody. Let me explain it now. In the meantime, okay, let me share the link also. If somebody wants to try on their own, they can go and try to code. Okay, I am sharing the. I have just shared the link here. I will explain. In the meantime, if somebody already knows how to solve it, you can try and code it. Okay. All right, folks. Okay, so what we will do now again, imagine number line. Okay, number line को imagine करो कि भाई एक number line है, वहां पे we have these numbers, right? 10 है, 100 है, 300 है, right? So because whenever range problems come, now this is like a range problem, right? That you are looking at the k numbers and you want the minimum of those minimum. यार मेरे को मेरी शक्ल देखनी है. I want to see कि वो mirror image कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा. हाँ, ये हाँ, अरे yes. So minimum, हाँ, mirror image नहीं कर रहा. So whenever like there is a number line, whenever there is, it's like you have to select k numbers and you have to look at the minimum number and the maximum number, and we want that minimum and maximum to be as close as possible, right? So that means on number line they should be close, right? Because उतना ही उनके बीच में difference होगा, जितने दूर होंगे number line में उतना ही ज़्यादा उनके बीच में difference होगा, correct? So let's try to visualize this using a number line. So we have this array, right? So 10 20 30, ठीक है जी? तो 10 20 30 number line पे 10 20 30 will be probably somewhere here. 10 20 30 will be probably somewhere here. Then we have 100 200 300, right? So let's say 100 200 300 are somewhere here. Okay, this is 100, this is 100, this is 200. Let's say maybe थोड़ा और close कर देते हैं. Let's say this is 100, let's say this is 200, let's say this is 300, and then 1000 is probably somewhere here. 1000 is probably somewhere here. इस तरीके से कुछ होगा, right? Just an idea. 10 20 30 100 200 300 1000, correct? तो अब इसमें our target is to select k numbers. So don't you think selecting k consecutive ones is the most optimal thing to do? मतलब इसमें अगर हम दो यहाँ से उठा लें, तीसरा यहाँ से उठा लें, why will we do it? Wasn't it better कि यार यही तीन उठा लेते या फिर यही तीन उठा लेते? Why will we pick three numbers which have more numbers in between them? That is not going to be beneficial for us now, because in this case the difference will be this much. Wasn't it better, अगर 300 को include करना ही था, then wasn't it better to take these three instead, correct? So this is basically the idea behind it, that sorting will help in that manner. Does the idea make sense, folks? That if you have to take k numbers, you sort them and then take k consecutive numbers only. Why to take non-consecutive k numbers? They will lead in giving us a worse solution only. So now what we can simply do is we can simply look at all the possibilities of k consecutive numbers and find the possible answers. So we will say, okay, because in our case k is equal to 3, let's look at the first three numbers. In the first three numbers, our answer will be max of this minus max min of this, right? And then look at the next set of three numbers. In this case, our answer will be 80. In the first set of three numbers, our answer will be in the case of 10 20 30, like if we sort it, but will we get sort करेंगे तो what will we get? We will get 10 20 30 100 200 300 and then 1000, correct? And then 1000. So now the first three numbers, the difference is 20. And the next three numbers, the difference is, can you tell the difference? Difference without difference 80, correct? And then the next three numbers 30 100 200, what is the difference? 170. Then the next three numbers 200, the next one 800, correct? So our answer is going to be one of these possible numbers only. So here it is very clear that our answer is 20. So that is why these are the good ones. The answer that they're giving is 20. Correct है जी? Correct है जी? Folks, GG or not? Now the only thing that we need to do is iterate over these windows of k, iterate over these windows of k, and find the difference between maximum and minimum. So now here also, if you look at it, the first window of k will start from I equal to 0. The second window of k will start from I equal to 1. The third window of k will start from I equal to 2. Then I equal to 4, and so on and so forth. So like keep incrementing the start of the window by 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 index, right? So now my question to you is, if there is a window that is starting at index I, right? The first element, the minimum element of that window is I. Okay. If the minimum element, the first element of that window is at index I, where will be the last element of that window? Can you tell me what is the index of the last element or the largest element in that window, in that particular window only? Yes, most of the people are answering it correctly. I plus k minus 1. So for the people who are maybe not able to understand it, I'll explain it to you. See, when you have one element only, then I is the only number in the window. If you have two elements, then you will have I comma I plus 1, correct? If you have three elements, then it will be I plus 1, I plus 1, I plus 2, correct? If you have four elements, then I plus 1, I plus 2, I plus 3. तो दिख रहा है आपको? When k is equal to 2, then you are going to tell plus 1. When k is equal to 3, if you are looking at three elements, your last element will be I plus 2. If k is equal to 4, if you're looking at four elements, then it will be I plus 3. Similarly, if you are looking at k elements, it will be I plus k minus 1 will be the last. So basically एक तरीके से देखा जाए तो I plus 0 से लेके I plus k minus 1 तक. So in that case, as I said, the last element of the window will be at index I plus k minus 1. So if you fix the starting of the window, that is, if I am looking at that window of k elements that starts at index I, that window's last element from the array will be at index I plus k minus 1. ये वाली बात clear हो रही है या नहीं हो रही है? Is this thing getting cleared up or not? Now, is it also clear that the first element will be the smallest element? The first element will be the smallest element. This one will be the smallest element in the window. And this one will be the largest element in the window. Why? Because we have already sorted the array. Because sort करके तो आंसर निकाल रहे हैं. Sort तो कर ही दिया array को. Okay. So this is what we'll do. This is exactly what we will do. कर लें कोड फटाक से. Should we code it? All right. कर लेते हैं. दिखा देता हूँ चलो कोड. It is also an easy problem. So I'll simply show you the code. ठीक है. Next problem का code will do. Okay, next problem का code will do. That is not a very easy problem. This is like a beginner problems of sorting. Next class में आपकी नानी याद आएगी. Next class में we will do difficult problems. Okay. मतलब good problems. ठीक है. Good problems we'll do in the next class. All right, ये वाला कोड दिखा देता हूँ फटाफट से, and then we'll go to the next problem. Next problem is still okay. It is decent. I think you will enjoy it. Okay, let me come to the code of this particular problem now. So share screen. Yes, this is the okay. So this is the code, folks. This is the code. First thing to do, sort the array. As discussed, sort the array. I think ये मैं इसको आपको यहाँ पे भी दिखा सकता हूँ. Go to Java. See, first thing, sort the array. Okay. Then initialize the answer with long dot max value. यहाँ पे ध्यान रखना, because the answer can be long, right? because the answer, the return type is already C प्लस प्लस कट गया, अरे कोई बात नहीं, आपको नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम C प्लस प्लस में कोड कराते हैं लॉन्ग, बिकॉज इट इज नॉट, मैंने नहीं लिखा यहाँ पे लॉन्ग, लॉन्ग वाज ऑलरेडी रिटन इन द प्रॉब्लम। इफ आई गो टू C प्लस प्लस, यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी, यहाँ पे तो इंट लिखा हुआ है, तो ये तो धोखा दे रहे हैं। व्हाई इज दिस इंट एंड देन व्हाई इज दिस लॉन्ग? एक काम करके देखते हैं, लेट्स ट्राई टू कोड दिस इन इट, ठीक है? मेरे को लगता है कुछ कुछ तो गड़बड़ होगी। लेट्स ट्राई, देखते हैं क्या बोलना चाह रहे हैं। int answer is equals to int max, okay, and then like we discussed, let's sort the array arr comma arr plus n, okay, and then for int I equals to 0, I plus k minus 1 is less than n plus plus I, answer equals to min of answer comma arr I plus k minus 1 minus arr I, return answer. Let's try to run this. किसको चेंज करना है इंट में? कंपाइलेशन एरर, क्या गड़बड़ कर दी मैंने? के वॉज नॉट डिक्लेयर, अच्छा के हैज टू बी कैपिटल, तो इसको हम स्मॉल कर देंगे। हम दुनिया को अपने हिसाब से बदलते हैं, हम खुद को दुनिया को अपने हिसाब से नहीं बदलते। ओके 2020 एवरेज छपरी का वर्ष चली गई ये तो। चल गया, ऐसे ही चल गया। तो यहाँ पे फिर क्यों लॉन्ग दिया? फिर यहाँ पे भी इंट से काम चला लो, फिर ये दिस शुड आल्सो वर्क विद इंट। चल के देखते हैं, करके देखते हैं। इंटीजर डॉट मैक्स वैल्यू, अब देखते हैं ना काम बनता है कि नहीं। पुलकित सर आईजी दे दो, बायो देखना है। कोई बायो नहीं है भाई मेरा। कंपाइलेशन एरर, अच्छा दैट इज बिकॉज वो लाइक वो उसने दिए इस तरीके से हुआ कि लॉन्ग। चलो कोई नहीं यार, लॉन्ग कह रहे हैं तो हम लॉन्ग के हिसाब से लिख देते हैं, इतना भी ढीठ नहीं बनते। तो नीचे जाके चेंज करना पड़ेगा मेरे को, बिकॉज वो उन्होंने लॉन्ग के हिसाब से किया हुआ। आई कांट अपडेट दिस। वो कह रहे हैं बदल के दिखाओ अब दुनिया। तभी तभी जैसे मैं बोल रहा हूँ वैसा नहीं करना है। दुनिया के हिसाब से खुद को ही बदलना पड़ता है। ऑल राइट, लाइफ लेसन। ओके चलो सी फोक्स, एज वी डिस्कस्ड क्या करने वाले हैं। सो वी नो फॉर द फर्स्ट विंडो, ये किसी ने शेयर किया कुछ, क्या शेयर किया भाई? मिलते जुलते सामान डाल दिया क्या? चलो ठीक है, ये भी दे देंगे आपको होमवर्क में। ओके, सो फॉर द फर्स्ट विंडो लाइक वी डिस्कस्ड, द फर्स्ट विंडो विल बी from 0 to k minus 1. The second window will be from 1 to index k. The third window will be 2 to k plus 1. So on and so forth. 3 to k plus 2 and so on and so forth. ऐसे चलती रहेगी। Okay. Turning off the chat. So we will start from the first window of index of size k, where we know that st will be equal to 0 and en will be equal to k minus 1. So हमने दोनों चीजें इनिशियलाइज कर दी in the for loop, that hey, st start of the first window is 0 and en the end of the first window is k minus 1. Now we know that the windows will keep on increasing, right? In whenever we move from one window to another, the start index will also increment by 1, the end index will also increment by 1. So this is how we are sliding our window by one index every time. I think we have already covered it enough sliding window mein, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. Okay, now till when will this for loop go on? Till our ending index is less than n. Bhai agar like you can also write st is less than n and ending is less than n, but that is not required, because if en is the index that comes to the right, वो पहले ही n क्रॉस कर जाएगा ना, तो just taking this much is enough. Okay, so then like we discussed, we will keep taking minimum for the answer using math.min function, which is an inbuilt function. If somebody still has a doubt for this, please google it, that how does it work. Okay, and then we will keep taking of answer with the range of this particular window. Range mane the maximum element minus the minimum element. Now the maximum element will be error of En, the minimum element will be error of St. So this is how we can solve it. Can we go on to the next problem now? Folks, shall we go on to the next problem? The time complexity again is sorting में जितना time लगा, let's say of n log n and then plus O of n for just iterating. So the overall time complexity sorting के लिए जितनी लगी उतनी ही है. Let's assume it is O of n log n for now. All right. चलें? सुसु break. Somebody was asking the number. This is the number. Okay. All right. इसको डालवा देता हूँ मैं, कोई नहीं. I will add it to the yeah, I did it. So this will be in the homework problems link. Okay. तो एक वो hacker rank वाला भी था ना, उसको भी डाल देते हैं. Hacker rank mean absolute difference in an array, right? Okay, उसको भी डाल दिया. This will also be shared in the code links. Okay. Links मिल जाएंगे आपको यार. In the for each problems link ना, I will share the codes with you folks, right? Code ऐसे follow करेंगे. देखो हर एक के अंदर ये link डाला हुआ है. So don't worry. हर एक के अंदर ये link डाला हुआ है. Java वाले already हैं यहाँ. C++ वाले मैं नीचे लिख दूंगा. Okay, don't worry. Sorry, ये तो पिछले वाले उसका है, but you get the पिछले वाला क्या है, किसका है? अच्छा, custom sort is the name of the problem. Okay, no problem. चलो, okay. Let's come to the next problem now. ठीक है. अब देखते हैं इजी लगता है नहीं, because this is one step above the other problem that we have solved. Not very hard, but still it's a good problem. Okay. चलो ठीक है, इसमें हम क्या करते हैं? Let's C++. Okay. So now the problem, folks, says that we have to find the sum of absolute differences in a sorted array. So they're like पहले इसे काम आसान कर दिया. हर क्वेश्चन में you're discussing that why sorting the array is a good thing to do, why not, blah 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 blah. They're like sorted in low as well. Okay. So यहाँ पे sorted array दे दिया. Now the array is sorted here. The target is, let's read the problem. You are given an integer array nums sorted in non-decreasing order. Okay, sorted in non-decreasing order. Just a second, I'll continue. I'm lowering the hand for everyone because I'll ask for the solution so that वही लोग hand raise करें जिनको आता है. Anyway, so now you are given an integer array nums sorted in non-decreasing order. Non-decreasing माने कि increasing की हुआ इसका मतलब, it's just because they are equal elements also ना, तो equal elements के केस में इसको increasing नहीं बोल सकते. You can call it non-decreasing. ठीक है. Anyway, इस पे इतना भाव डालो. ठीक है, it's okay. Build and return an integer array. Okay. The question is build and return an integer array. अपने को एक नया array build करना है. We have to build a new array result with the same length as nums. लिंक आगे ऊपर आ गया भाई, सत्यम ने पहले डाल दिया. अच्छा, सत्यम ने सिर्फ उसको डाल दिया, होस्ट एंड पैनलिस्ट को. सत्यम सबके साथ शेयर कर दो. सत्यम प्लीज शेयर इट विद एवरीबॉडी. सवाल सुन लो, फिर लिंक भी दे दूंगा. चलो यार, अपना लायक नहीं हो चैट ऑन करने के. दिस इज द लिंक. Chat is turned off. Okay. Chalo, let's see. See now, you are given an integer array, which is sorted in non-decreasing order. Our target is to build a new array result, which has the same length as the input array, such that the result of I, okay, the ith element in the result of I is equal to the summation of the absolute differences between nums of I and all the other elements in the array. तो वो बोल रहा है कि nums of I को लो, right? If you want to calculate result of I, take the value of nums of I pair it with all the other possible elements, pair it with all the other elements, find the absolute difference and sum it up. Okay, इस पर्टिकुलर एलिमेंट के जितने भी पेयर बन सकते हैं, पेयर इट विद देम, find the sum of all the find the sum of absolute differences of all of them, whatever is the final sum, that is what result of I should be equal to. Okay, in other words, result of I is equal to sum of nums of I minus j for, मतलब ये थोड़ा मैथमेटिकल है, मैथ आपको वैसी कम पसंद आती है तो मैं इसी तरीके से समझा देता हूँ. Okay, so let's assume that nums is 2 3 5. So when I is equal to 0 और nums of I is equal to 2, तो they are like कि बाकी दोनों ले लो. 3 minus 2 कितना हो जाएगा? So 3 minus 2 कितना हो जाएगा? 1. करेक्ट. प्लस 5 minus 2 कितना हो जाएगा? It will be 3. So 1 plus 3 equal to 4. So the first element of our answer will be 4. Now let's go to the second element, which is 3. Do the same thing. 3 के अलावा कौन कौन से elements हैं? There is 2 and there is 5. So इन दोनों का absolute difference 1. इन दोनों का absolute difference 2. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So that means the second element will be 3. Then 5. This is the third element. Okay. Now here, what are the other two elements? 2. So 2 and 5, 3. 3 and 5, 2. So 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. So now our third element is 5. So 4, 3, 5 is the array or the vector in this case that we will return. Is the to you folks or not? Is the problem making sense, folks? All right. ओके, दूसरा एग्जांपल भी एक्सप्लेन कर देते हैं. चलो कोई नहीं. लेट मी गो टू द आईपैड, एक्सप्लेन द सेकंड एग्जांपल आल्सो. लेट मी टर्न ऑन द चैट इन द मीन टाइम. जिन लोगों को समझ में आ रहा है कैन ट्राई टू सॉल्व इट. यार अगर i इक्वल टू j कंसीडर कर भी लोगे ना तो इट वोंट मैटर. इवन इफ यू कंसीडर i इक्वल टू j, then also it won't matter because the absolute difference in that case will be 0 only. It won't affect the sum. Okay, it won't affect the sum. I hope Atik, I answered your question. All right, folks. So let's take an example of the second problem, the second test case, which is 1, 4, 6, 8, 10. So 1, 4, 6, 8, 10. I hope that the iPad is visible. 1, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now here, if you see, a resultant array will try to make. Okay, let's start with 1. So 1 के लिए यहाँ पे आएगा पहले 4 minus 1, which will be, so 4 minus 1 will be 3, plus 6 minus 1, 5, plus 8 minus 1, 7, plus 10 minus 1, 9. So 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9, 8 यहाँ से आ गया, 15 plus 9, 25. So the, नहीं, कुछ कैलकुलेशन में गलती कर दी है मैंने. Is it going to be 25 only? 1, 4, 6, 8, 10. होगा, रुको देखता हूँ. So 3, 5, 3. हाँ, you are right, 24 होगा. 24 होगा, correct. 24 आ गया. And then the second number is 4. 4 के लिए इन दोनों का सिस्टम क्या होगा? 4 minus 1 will be 3, 6 minus 4 will be 2, 4, 6. तो 10 प्लस 5 15, तो इसका आ जाना चाहिए 15। करेक्ट, ये तो सही है। ऑलराइट, एंड देन अगेन फॉर द थर्ड नंबर 6, consider 6 with all the other numbers. Okay, that is what we'll do. 6 minus 1, 6 minus 1 5, plus 6 minus 4 2, plus 8 minus 6, 8 minus 6, अरे यार वो रह गया 5, plus 2, plus 8 minus 6 is again 2, plus 10 minus 6 is again, not again, it is 4. So it will be 7 plus 7 plus 6, which will be 13. So this will be 13. All right, then again let's go to 8, right? For this 8, let's try to take 8 with everything. So 8 minus 1 will be 7, plus 8 minus 4 will be 4, plus 8 minus 6 will be 2, plus 10 minus 8 will be 2 again. So it will be 7 plus 4 11, plus 2 13, plus 2 15. So it will be 15, right? Last रह गया 10, so consider 10 with everything else. 10 minus 1 9, plus 10 minus 4 6, plus 10 minus 6 4, plus 10 minus 8 2. So it is 9 plus 6 15, plus 4 19, plus 2 21. गलती कर दिया कुछ मैंने? 9 6 4 2 21 ही आ रहा है यार, है ना? Yes, it is 21 only. आंसर में भी 21 ही है. So 21, लोग 23 बोल रहे थे इसलिए मेरे को लगा. All right. So this is the answer. अब सवाल क्लियर है? Now is the problem clear? तो यार this is the problem. बताओ कैसे करोगे? Now of course one possible way is the brute force way, right? One possible way is the brute force way, that you iterate over all the kind of other possibilities, and yeah, O of n square possibility, O of n square complexity, correct. So not going into the details of that, I'm hoping that by then you should be able to think of it on your own. I hope you should be able to think of it on your own. So अचानक से a lot of people, अच्छा, so now people who have raised their hand, those who don't know, those who have not thought of an optimal approach can unraise your hand. Only those people who know of an optimal approach, raise your hand. Only people who want to share an optimal approach, raise your hand. Okay, I'll give somebody a chance to speak. Yes, please speak, Santi. Next, I'll give a chance to Darshan. Darshan was asking a chance in the previous question also. He did not. So Santi, unfortunately, is not speaking. Yeah, I think they have unmuted themselves, but I can't. We can't hear you, Santi. Darshan has unraised his hand. Darshan bhai, do you want to share the solution, or are you still thinking? Santi, I'm sorry, we can't hear you. I think there is some problem with your mic, because earlier also you were trying to speak in the previous class, but we were not able to hear you. Yeah, Darshan has raised his hand again. Darshan.
Hello.
Yes, Darshan.
Hello.
Yes, Darshan.
Sir, basically in this problem, I also tell me the brute force first of all.
Okay.
तो मैं वही सोच रहा था कि ब्रूट फोर्स तो वही होगा, हमें दो लोग लगा के
छोड़ो brute force में.
करंट एलिमेंट से
आसान वाली डिस्कस नहीं करते
मतलब
भाई.
उसको मिस करके बाकी सारे से हमें उसको डिफरेंस
Yes.
निकाल के.
राइट.
हाँ सर,
मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, मैं क्या आसान वाली
वो तो
डिस्कस
ब्रूट
नहीं.
फोर्स है सर.
छोड़ो.
हाँ सर.
हाँ, ब्रूट फोर्स छोड़ो, मैं कह रहा हूँ भाई. ब्रूट फोर्स के अलावा बढ़िया वाली बताओ.
नहीं. हाँ. हाँ सर, मैं बड़ी वाला ऐसी थिंकिंग है कि हम रिपीटेडली एब्सोल्यूट डिफरेंस निकाल रहे हैं ना सर.
क्या निकाल रहे हैं रिपीटेडली?
पहले एलिमेंट को लिया तो उसके बाद में अगले सारे मतलब साइज ऑफ द एरे इज 5, तो मैं फर्स्ट एलिमेंट पे हूँ, तो मैं n minus 1 इनका ये निकाल रहा हूँ, एब्सोल्यूट डिफरेंस निकाल रहा हूँ एलिमेंट्स का उसके साथ।
करेक्ट निकाला होगा।
तो उसके बाद मैं जब अगले इस पे आ रहा हूँ तो वापस से वही हो रहा है, बट मैं उस एलिमेंट वापस से n minus 1 ही रिपीटेडली हमें एब्सोल्यूट डिफरेंस निकालना है
राइट।
स्टार्टिंग से। तो इसमें मेरा थिंकिंग ऐसा था, मैं तो कर रहा था कि प्रीफिक्स सम का थोड़ा कर दूं कि
तो कैसे कर
हाँ सर,
सकते हो प्रीफिक्स सम? यू आर राइट, दैट इज वन ऑफ द पॉसिबल सॉल्यूशंस, यू कैन थिंक इन दैट डायरेक्शन, दैट इज वन ऑफ द पॉसिबल सॉल्यूशंस।
थिंक कर रहा था कि इसमें क्यूमुलेटिव सम रख सकते हैं।
सोचो सोचो, इट्स ओके, थिंक अबाउट इट।
हाँ सर,
आई
सोच
थिंक
रहा
यू
हूँ।
डोंट हैव right now, but yeah, think about it. I'm disabling you are talking now, right? Shubham says that he has a solution, so I'll unmute Shubham now. Shubham Singla, yes.
Yeah, hi. So, the possible solution that I was,
Just a second, Shubham, sorry. Some people are asking, can I plus one? I have a solution, please unmute. Whoever has a solution, please raise your hand. Only then I'll come to know that who all want to speak. Then I'll pick some new people. I'll pick some regular people, right? I'll try to give chance to different people. So yeah, if you know the solution, raise your hand. Yes, Singh Shivam, please continue.
yeah. So, the solution that I devised was that I'll take the sum of all the elements of the array,
Okay,
and
take all the elements of the array. All right, then.
yes, and then say I'm at index 1.
Okay.
I'll subtract that particular index uh, multiplied by the size of the index from the total sum.
Okay, what will happen if you'll do that?
So see, if we take the example one for now. So example one has the values as 2, 3, and 5. The total
Correct.
sum comes out to be 10.
Okay.
And for the first index of the output, we will have 10 minus 2 into 3. 2, it is the first index, into 3 is the size of the array.
All right.
That would give us 4. And then come on to the next one, that is 3. The total sum is this, say, 10, right? Then we'll subtract 3 from this 3 times.
That should be 7.
Sorry?
Then according to your logic, the answer should be 7, but answer is 3.
No. Just a second. I made one mistake here.
There is a mistake. And I think
I made a mistake. Sorry. I need to check. Sorry.
no problem. Check. Bharat wants to share the solution. So भरत को पूछते हैं, फिर कनिष्क के पास जाते हैं। कनिष्क ने पिछली बार सही बताया था, that is why I'll go to Kanishk after this. Yes, Bharat, tell me.
Hi, Pulkit. So what I was thinking, what we can do is we can make a prefix sum array for the whole array. Okay.
Okay.
After that, for every index, we will loop through it, and what we will do, suppose we will pick 1 first. So apart from 1, we will get the sum of this of the last index, like so from the prefix sum in of 1 complexity, 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10, we will have it at last
How will you
index,
get?
right?
No, that is not correct. How will you get prefix sum? How will you get? Let's say you are at 6. So you want the sum of the elements in the right? How will you get it from prefix sum?
What I will do, I will get the prefix sum of the last index of the array and minus it with current I minus 1th prefix sum.
Got it. Now it is correct. Okay. So using this, you can get the sum of the right elements. Okay. Then I will unmute Aksa next. Yeah. Yes, Bharat.
Okay. So what I have got is for first index itself, I have got 29. If you add it at the last element, you will get 29. And then what I will do, I will subtract for each
This will be 20.
element. Yes.
This is what 25 है कि okay 10 plus 18 28 okay
हाँ 28
total
correct.
total sum हो जाएगा 29 आ जाएगा ठीक है फिर then what will you do?
I think 29
Then
it
you're
will
telling
come.
me don't tell me in term of a general, don't tell me कि let's take one, tell me a general idea. Let's say you're at index I, अब बताओ मेरे को क्या करना है, तभी solution
Ah,
बताओगे ना फिर
हाँ.
specific हो गया I के लिए बताओ मेरे को क्या करना है if you know.
So for that I will get some of its right side elements. Okay.
Okay, let's say you
And
got right some then
okay, I will get a left sum as well.
then what will be your answer?
Then what I will do, I will uh, subtract uh, subtract ith a of I multiply by
A of I
multiply by a n minus 2.
multiplied by A of n minus 2.
Yes.
Subtract this from where?
So this is apart from current element, I will count the whole elements. Okay. Sorry, not a of n minus 2, it is n minus 2, just n minus 2.
A of I into n minus 2.
Yes.
You will subtract it from किसमें subtract करोगे?
The summation of right sum and left sum.
नहीं, you need to think a little more. This is not entirely correct. Okay, so I am not going to kind of explain it again. Why is it incorrect? Because it will take time. You'll come to know it.
Okay.
I have disabled talking. I will take one last कनिष्क से पूछते हैं, ठीक है? And then I will ask from one more person. If Kanishk shares a wrong solution, then we'll go ahead. Yes, Kanishk, बताओ.
Yeah, hi. So, sir, first we'll take the prefix sum from the start and the postfix sum from the end. So,
Right.
we form two arrays. And if I talk about like six here, so
Right. Prefix.
at the ith position,
Let's talk about general I.
at the ith position, I will minus the
Take me I position पे है.
I'll minus the prefix sum below before it from the multiplication of ith position to the how much we
Okay.
have
Tell me
traversed.
what to
So
write. After that prefix sum before it you have to. मेरे को
prefix
लिख के
sum before
A of I.
a of I equal to prefix into I. We have we have traveled till
Got
I
it.
here from the left,
Okay.
and
All right.
and plus a of I, like the prefix sum, like the postfix sum plus length minus I, like from the right, how much we have traversed till 6.
नहीं समझा, पहले A of I into I किया प्लस करोगे?
Yeah,
क्या करोगे?
पोस्टफिक्स सम से लेना है ना सर. सो पोस्टफिक्स सम मतलब हमने पीछे से कितना ट्रैवल कर दिया तो उतना मल्टीप्लिकेशन से माइनस कर देंगे. जैसे 6
प्लस
जैसे a of I
A of I
इंटू लेंथ माइनस आई, मतलब हमने लास्ट से कितना ट्रैवल किया है.
नहीं, यहाँ पे माइनस आना चाहिए था, थोड़ी गलती कर रहे हो, कोई बात नहीं. आई थिंक आई
अच्छा,
गेट योर दिया, थोड़ा सोचो
ओके
इसको, कोई बात नहीं.
श्योर, थैंक
आई
यू.
डिसेबल टॉपिक once again. Is there anybody who is absolutely confident कि आंसर सही है? फिर मैं बोलने दूंगा ना, वरना I will get to the solution. Is there anybody who is absolutely confident कि सर मेरे से पूछ लो, गलत होगा ना तो डबल फीस ले लेना, ऐसे बोला? डबल फीस लूंगा मैं, डबल फीस दाव पे लगाने वाला कौन है यहाँ पे? नवनीत इज श्योर. चलो ठीक है, नवनीत से पूछते हैं. नवनीत तैयार रखना, यूपीआई आईडी भी तैयार है मेरे पास. मैं टीम को बोल के एक्सेस हटवा दूंगा, अपने आप डबल फीस आएगी फिर. Yes, Navneet.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
you're audible.
So first we can take the total sum of that array. Okay.
Total sum of the array, okay.
Okay, and when we traverse from the zeroth index, what we can do, we can multiply it to the length of that array. Okay. Suppose that.
Right.
And then
Can you tell me this thing, that what will you do when you are at an index I? Can you tell me just that?
So at index I will multiply with 5, the total length of array. Okay, so it will become 5. Okay.
No, ये वाला एग्जांपल छोड़ो, मेरे को सॉल्यूशन जानना है.
Okay,
Just
so
you are at I, you will
AI
multiply with
AI multiply with n. Okay.
Okay.
And then minus the total sum. Then
This
we
is the answer
can,
according to you.
sorry, this
This
is
is
the
the answer
total sum.
according to you.
Yeah, we can take the absolute value of that difference, and
Okay,
then we
this is
can
wrong. This is wrong. Yeah, this is wrong. This is wrong. Simply wrong. And into I minus total sum करोगे absolute value लोगे गलत आएगा यार.
total sums are, suppose that at
ले लो 4 ले लो. 4 into n, 4 into n कितना हो जाएगा? 4 into n will be 20. Correct?
yeah, correct.
हो जाएगा ना?
Then
20 हो जाएगा.
yeah, हो
Total
जाएगा.
sum निकालो.
Then
Total
5
मतलब 29. 29 आता है. 20 minus 29 करोगे तो 9 आएगा. The answer is for 15. लाओ पैसे निकालो. चलो कोई बात नहीं, मैं समझा रहा हूँ. अभी कंटिन्यू करते हैं. लेट्स गो.
ठीक है, थैंक यू सर.
यार मेरे को है कि आप लोग बताओ यार सॉल्यूशन. मैं है बताता रहूंगा, फिर समझ में नहीं आएगा. फिर तो चलता रहेगा. चलो दिस इज लास्ट. आई हैव गुड होप्स विद मनीष. दिस इज लास्ट. उसके बाद हम होपफुली करना स्टार्ट कर देंगे. I have muted. ठीक है, दोनों को म्यूट कर.
मैं
आप दोनों मिलकर
जनरल
सॉल्यूशन
फॉर्मूला
बताओ,
बता
उसके
देता
बाद किसी को नहीं.
मैं
Yes,
जनरल
machine.
फॉर्मूला
Yes,
बता
Manish,
देता हूँ.
बताओ.
ओके
Yes, tell me.
ओके सपोज एक एरे के लिए मैं इंडेक्स आई पकड़ता हूँ, ठीक ना. मेरे पास
Correct.
एरे का टोटल सम है एस.
Okay, total sum है S.
फॉर इंडेक्स फर्स्ट हम लोग करेंगे कि सम माइनस एलिमेंट एट इंडेक्स आई
नहीं,
इनटू
ये कौन सा सम बताया?
टोटल सम ऑफ द एरे.
टोटल सम माइनस.
हाँ, टोटल सम माइनस इंडेक्स एट आई इनटू
A of I बोल रहे हो ना? A of I into.
हाँ, a of I into that will be the length of the total array.
अच्छा.
Length of the total array, and length of the total array will decrease in every loop. Means in every loop it will be decreased by I.
Decrease by 1. This is the answer.
Yes,
गलत है.
that is decreased by 1.
गलत है. गलत है. समझाता हूँ अभी इसके बाद. Okay, I'm disabling talking for you. So undefined, do you want to speak? Undefined, do you want to speak?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not thinking about a formula. I have kind of a middle ground, like not a brute force entirely, not a formula. What I'm thinking is, suppose if when we are calculating the difference, absolute difference for the first iteration, right? Anyways, we need to form a resultant array. So what we can try doing is, suppose we are finding the difference 1 minus 4. Likewise, as we are doing,
let's say you found 24, okay, for 1, right?
but as we are finding 24, what I want to also do is 1 minus 4 is 3, right? So I'll store 3 as a as one of the sum for the first also and the second also. Like second, I don't want to go back, so I'll already have 3 stored at that. So for 4, when I try to do, I'll add 3 plus all the remaining sums.
All right, so let's say you have 3, okay. So 4, let's say you know that the difference between 4 and 3 is 4 and 1 is 3, okay. So now
Right.
how will you calculate the answer for 4?
So for 4, I'll not go previous, like I'll go 4, 6, 4 at 4 at 10 for the left ones, like the right ones, whichever are left. So like first time I do for first element, I'll traverse through all the elements. Second index, then I'll not go backwards, I'll only go forward because already I have stored.
Okay, so every time you will be going forwards only. You will have
Right.
to go forward every time. But that will still be of n square, no? That will still be of n square. So
Right, no, it's not. Yeah, it's not. Will it be entirely n square? Because
yeah, it will be n square. Why? Because first time you are doing n iterations. Second time you'll be doing n minus 1, correct? Third time you'll be doing n minus 2, correct?
Right.
If you add all of these, it will be a AP. The answer will be n into n plus 1 by 2.
Okay.
It will still be of n square. Okay. So I
Okay.
understand, like you are, decreasing the number of iterations by 1 every time, but it will still be of n square.
Okay.
Sir,
Tell me one thing. Have you
hello,
submitted the code?
sir.
Me? For me?
No,
No, sir.
the other
I
person.
have.
You,
सर मैं बता सकता हूँ
you
सर
can. Okay, Sangam, tell me. The other person, undefined, I'm sorry, I did not know your name. I have discussed for you. Sangam, you can talk.
हाँ
Who was the undefined person? वैसे what was
हाँ
your
मैं क्या करूँगा पहले
You can-
पूरे एरे की सम निकालूंगा.
He's saying calculate the sum for the whole array. Okay, then.
हेलो सर.
Yes, Sangam, I'm listening to you. Tell me.
हाँ उस सम से मैं ए ऑफ हाँ उस सम से मैं ए ऑफ आई माइनस करूंगा.
Okay.
और जो आंसर आएगा सम से ए ऑफ आई माइनस करके उस आंसर
है,
से
फिर?
मैं उस आंसर से मैं माइनस करूंगा ए ऑफ आई इंटू एन माइनस 2.
अच्छा, बस
हो सकता है कैसे सर?
नहीं, गलत है.
हाँ इतना.
गलत है, गलत है, गलत है. छोड़ो, इट्स ओके. आई एम डिसेबलिंग टॉकिंग फॉर यू. बस बहुत हो गया. सब लोग बोलते हैं मैं मेरा पक्का सही है, मेरा पक्का सही है, मेरा पक्का सही है. किसी ने कोई क्लोज भी नहीं आया आंसर के. थोड़ा सा क्लोज आया था. आई थिंक कनिष्क वाज अ लिटिल क्लोज, बट वो थोड़ा कंफ्यूज हो गया था कि कहाँ प्लस करना है, कहाँ माइनस करना है. अच्छा, अखिल हैज सबमिटेड एंड गॉट एक्सेप्टेड. तो ठीक है, फिर अखिल से पूछते हैं. अखिल, फीस दाव पे लग रही है? अखिल, फीस दाव पे लगाओगे?
हाँ सर, लगा लेंगे.
लेंगे, चलो बताओ.
सो पहले n square का solution था, तो then I thought what would be
No, just tell me the optimal
yeah.
form.
So first calculate the difference, absolute sum difference for the first element. So I have
Okay.
result of 0, and
ठीक
then
है.
the result of I will be result of I minus 1. So result of I minus 1 plus brackets में nums of I minus nums of I minus 1.
Okay.
And then into 2 into I minus n.
Into 2 into I minus 1.
हाँ, ब्रैकेट में 2 into I minus n.
2I minus n. Okay. So this is because इसका जो डिफरेंस है इसको
क्योंकि लेफ्ट वाले का डिक्रीज होगा और राइट वाले का सॉरी लेफ्ट वाले का इंक्रीज होगा डिफरेंस, राइट वाले का इंक्रीज.
ऐसा ही करोगे और राइट वाले में आप करोगे माइनस ऑफ n माइनस I माइनस 1, करेक्ट? तो -1 रह गया ना शायद.
अगर इंडेक्स में आई 0th इंडेक्स से ले रहा हूँ, आई थिंक. हाँ,
में ही ना, राइट वाले में लाइक समझ गए ना. ith यहाँ पे है. लेफ्ट में कितने होंगे? I होंगे. राइट में कितने होंगे? n माइनस I माइनस 1 होंगे.
हाँ नहीं, लेकिन आई के लिए भी डिक्रीज होगा.
बट योर आइडिया इज करेक्ट. आई कुड बी रॉन्ग. मतलब हो सकता है एक आध का इधर-उधर हो गया हो सकता है मैंने गलत सोचा हो, बिकॉज़ आई एम थिंकिंग ऑफ अ डिफरेंट सॉल्यूशन.
अच्छा.
बट आई थिंक यू आर राइट. व्हाई? बिकॉज़ I माइनस 1 के लिए जो आंसर निकाला होगा उसके क्या होगा ना. तो I माइनस 1 के राइट में कितने होंगे? उसके राइट में तो n माइनस I ही होंगे, करेक्ट. तो चलो अब एक बार मैं फॉर्मूला निकाल के देख ही लेता हूँ. तो जो आपने बोला, तो ये साइड की आंसर होगा पिछले वाले का रिजल्ट ऑफ. इसमें तो मैं क्लीन बोल्ड हो गया. रेज ऑफ I प्लस 1 प्लस. सो बेसिकली लेफ्ट ऑफ I माइनस 1 में हो जाएगा प्लस I इंटू A I माइनस I माइनस 1 प्लस राइट में से माइनस होगा राइट ऑफ I माइनस 1. चलो कोई बात नहीं है, ठीक है. अगर आपको एक्सेप्ट हो गया तो सही होगा. बट योर आइडिया इज करेक्ट. ओके, आइडिया इज करेक्ट. प्लस माइनस 1 का कहीं गड़बड़ होगा, बट आइडिया सीम्स करेक्ट. ओके अखिल, फीस मार्क. ठीक, ओके. रिफंड का थोड़ी बोला था मैंने। मैं बोला अगर गलत हुआ तो डबल लेंगे, ये थोड़ी बोला था। ये अगर सही हो तो रिफंड करेंगे। नहीं नहीं, आप कॉन्टेस्ट में बढ़िया परफॉर्म करो, आपको बाउंड्री देंगे। ओके, कॉन्टेस्ट में अच्छा परफॉर्म करो, वट एवर इज द कॉन्टेस्ट, परफॉर्म गुड इन दैट, ट्राई टू परफॉर्म गुड इन दैट, वी विल गिव यू बाउंड्री एज प्रॉमिस, डोंट वरी। ठीक है, जैसे प्रॉमिस किया था बाउंड्रीज होंगी। इट्स जस्ट दैट वी आर जस्ट वेटिंग फॉर यू टू गेट लिटिल मोर मैच्योर्ड, अच्छे सवाल आने लग जाए, यू स्टार्ट सॉल्विंग, देन विल गिव इट, देन विल स्टार्ट अनाउंसिंग इट। ओके, ऑल राइट, चलो देखो 10:55 हो गए हैं। ठीक है, लेट्स ट्राई टू डिस्कस। सारे फेल हो गए अब। जितने लोगों ने कहा था चांस दे दो, चांस दे दो, चांस दे दो, बड़े सारे लोगों ने कहा था कि बड़े सारे लोगों ने कहा था कि आई कैन टेल, आई कैन टेल, आई कैन टेल। अब रहने देते हैं। इफ वी कीप ऑन गोइंग लाइक दैट ना, अनडिफाइंड शुक्ला, तो फिर 12 बज जाएंगे क्लास को। ठीक है, लेट्स गेट दिस ओवर विद नाउ। In fact, I had one more question that I had planned to cover, but it's okay. उसको next class में देख लेंगे अब। Let's finish this question up, and then let's end the class. Okay, let's finish this question up and then let's end the class. Lag आ रहा है? Is it lagging? Lagging. Audio lagging. वो कर लेते हैं, मोबाइल इंटरनेट से कनेक्ट कर लूं, should I connect to मोबाइल इंटरनेट? 5G कर लेते हैं, चलो। Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay, I'm audible now. All right. Okay, let me turn on the chat now. Let me explain. Chalo. देखो folks, look at it. There can be more than one approaches to this problem. There can be more than one approaches to this problem. I will share one of them. See, when we are at an index I, our target is to find what? Our target is to find what? The absolute difference of this index, of this number, with all of the other numbers, right? And sum of basically all of that, right? By subtract this one from this one, right? This one from this one, this one from this one, and so on and so forth, right? After subtracting, after having an absolute difference for every number with this number, add all of them up. This is what the answer will be, right? This is what we want. The basic difference that you need to look here is, right, for any number, right? For any number, right? If the other number, right? Let's say you are pairing this a of I with a number a of j, right? If j is greater than I, right? If the other number is in the right part, if the other number is in the right part, then the absolute value will be what? It will be a of j minus a of I. Why? Because a of j is in the right part, it is larger. So if we want to look at the absolute value, it will be a of j minus a of I, because a of j will be larger than a of I. फॉलो कर पा रहे हो इस बात को या नहीं कर पा रहे हो? Otherwise, if j is less than I, else if j is less than I, then the absolute value that we are interested in, the absolute difference that we are interested in will be a of I minus a of j. यहाँ पे जो बाजी है वो पलट जाएगी, because a of I is going to be the larger number here and a of j will be the smaller number here. That is why this minus this will be it. Whenever you have to find absolute difference between two numbers, we do the larger minus smaller, correct? So formula ही different हो गया left के लिए और right के लिए, right? So when you are looking at the right wala numbers, then it is going to be solved in a different manner. When you are going to look at the left wala numbers, it is going to be solved in a different manner. All right. So if I just get rid of this thing now, okay, let's try to think of this ध्यान से. So what will happen is, the whole thing can be written like this. What do we want? We need a of I minus a of 0, correct? Plus a of I minus a of 1, correct? Correct? Plus a of I minus a of 2, right? So basically, this is the absolute difference between this and a of 0. Then I've written absolute difference between a of I and a of 1. सबके साथ absolute difference लेके सम ही तो लेना ना. This is what we wanted. Let's try to see what we wanted. Follow कर रहे हो या नहीं कर रहे हो अभी तक? a of I minus a of 0 कर लो, and then add a of I minus a of 1 to it, then add a of I minus a of 2 to it. Correct? We will keep on adding everything. So for all the left ones, we will do a of I minus the other one. A of I minus the other one. ऐसे करते 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 करते, right? All of these numbers are there, correct? ऐसे करते 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 in the end we will have plus a of I minus a of I minus 1. Correct? ये आ गया अपना left वाला part. This is the left part. Correct? ऐसे ही right में, can you tell me? Right में can I say it will be a of I plus 1 minus a of I? Correct? Plus then a of I plus 2 minus a of I. Does this make sense, folks, or not? ये follow कर रहे हो या नहीं कर रहे हो? What I am writing here. Please tell me if you are following this or not. Basically जो calculate करना था मैं वही एक एक करके लिख के समझने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. I am trying to find a pattern here. And then plus a of I plus 2 minus a of I. And so on and so forth. The last one will be what? The last one will be a of n minus 1 minus a of I. Got this or not? तो ये है जी, the sum of all these and then sum of all these, इन सबका sum कर देंगे तो this is what our answer will be. Can you tell me in totality, अगर मैं इन सबको मिला दूं, right, in totality how many terms are there, right? A of I will be paired with how many terms? Can you tell me in totality? In totality ये वाले भी मिला के, ये वाले भी मिला के, दोनों सब मिला के. The answer is n minus 1 because the total number of terms are what? n. हमें खुद को छोड़ के बाकी सबके साथ पेयर करना है. So n में से एक गया, right? If one goes from n, n minus 1, simple. Now from those n minus 1, some terms are in the left side, some terms are in the right side, correct? Some of the terms are in the left side, some of the terms will be on the right side. I hope this makes sense. Now tell me this, that how many terms are this? Can we think and see that how many terms are this? How many in totality, how many terms are this? Can we think? These are I terms. How? See, we started with a of 0. Like the first term was a of 0 wala. Second term was a of 1 wala. Third term was a of 2 wala. Then a of I minus 1 wala kaun sa hoga? It will be ith term. Follow kar pa rahe ho nahi, folks? So on the left side for a specific index I, right, we simply want to find that how many index are there, how many indices are there that are less than I. वही तो अपना आंसर होगा. There will be exactly I indices which are less than I because it is 0 based. जो लोग I minus लिख रहे हैं ना, I minus 1 लिख रहे हैं ना, if it was 1 based then it would have been I minus 1, but because it is 0 based it will be exactly I indices. So these will be I terms. All right, these will be I terms. Is this clear or not? मेरे को बताओ एक बार. अभी तक whatever I am doing, is it clear or not? So now these will be I terms, like I said. इसको बाद में अभी डिस्कस करते हैं. If these are I and total for n minus 1, total कितनी कैलकुलेट की थी? Total for n minus 1 and these ones are I, तो ये बची कितनी हो जाएंगी? n minus 1 minus I. Total are n minus 1, ये सब मिला के total terms are n minus 1 and these are n minus I, तो ये कितनी हो जाएंगी? n minus 1 minus I हो जाएंगी. खत्म. Okay, so these are the number of terms. हम इस पे आएंगे, अभी आते हैं. But let's try to open these terms up. Left sum or right sum को let's try to analyze separately. Let's call this left sum and let's call it right sum. So if I try to analyze left sum के analyze करने की कोशिश करते हैं. तो left sum में अपने को पता है the number of terms are the number of terms are basically exactly I, correct? Number of terms are exactly I terms are there. And how it is written? It is a of I minus a of 0 plus a of I minus a of 1 and so on and so forth. It goes on up to a of I minus a of I minus 1. तो इसको what we'll do ना, जो a of I वाली टर्म्स हैं इनको साथ में कर लो, थोड़ा जुगाड़ ही बिठाना है यार. It's such that we have to find a pattern. तो a of I वाली टर्म्स को जुगाड़ बिठा के साथ में कर लो, so that you can simply multiply it. A of I plus a of I plus a of I plus a of I. So it will come out to be something like this, that hey, it is a of I plus a of I plus a of I, correct? Kuch number of times a of I is getting added, correct? Then minus वाली टर्म्स कौन सी आ रही हैं? These all are minus वाली terms, right? So minus, all of these are in minus ना, so I basically just took minus sign common. माइनस एंड कॉमन निकाल लेंगे तो ये सारी टर्म्स अंदर जाके प्लस में आ जाएंगी. इट विल बी a of 0 plus a of 1 and so on and so forth up to a of I minus 1. Does this make sense or not? Does it make sense or not? So now tell me, how many terms were there in total? Like I said, in the left sum, how many terms were there? There were I terms. If we are adding a of I times, if we're adding a of I times, what will it become? It will become I into a of I. तो भाई, तो ये अपना जो हो जाएगा, this will become I into a of I, correct? I into a of I minus, now let's try to notice what is this. If you notice, this is a of 0 plus a of 1 plus a of 2, so on and so forth up to a of I minus 1. So prefix sum yaad aaya? This is prefix sum of I minus 1. So if you pre-calculate the prefix sum, you don't have to calculate this again and again and again. Just prefix sum ko pehle se calculate karke rakh lo. So this is nothing but this is prefix sum of I minus 1. तो ये हमारा, now we can simply find left sum, right, in O of 1, as long as we have calculated the prefix sum पहले से. Now we can find left sum for all the I indices in O of 1. अब लगे हाथ right sum भी देख लेते हैं. लगे हाथ, let's analyze the right sum also. Okay, so now right sum थोड़ा सा खुद से सोचो. I'll drink some water in the meantime. अरे पानी खत्म हो गया, क्यों नहीं, चलो क्लास के बाद पी लेंगे नीचे जाके. All right, so right sum was like this, correct? इसको वापस से लिखता हूं मैं, don't worry. तो पहले तो right sum में how many terms were there? We had written n minus 1 minus I terms were there. n minus 1 minus I terms were there, correct? And what was the expression? It was like a of I plus 1 में से a of I subtract कर दो, a of I plus 1 minus a of I, correct? Plus a of I plus 2 minus I minus a of I, and so on and so forth. ऐसे चलता रहेगा. It will go on up till a of n minus 1 last one minus a of I. This will go on like that, and this will keep on going. So now if we look at it, भाई plus plus अलग अलग कर दो, minus minus अलग अलग कर दो. So now it will look, if we look at it, it will be something like a of I plus 1 plus a of I plus 2 plus a of I plus 3 and so on and so forth up to a of, मतलब थोड़ा इसको ज्यादा इतना ज्यादा ना लिख के ऐसे समझ जाओ, I plus 2 and so on and so forth up to a of n minus 1, correct? And then minus all these a of i's are getting subtracted. So minus a of I plus a of I and so on and so forth a of I. Make sense or not? So now this is what, if you look at it, I plus 1 से लेके n minus 1 तक का sum है. Can I say that this is nothing but this is suffix sum of I plus 1? This is suffix sum of I plus 1. You can call it suffix sum of I plus 1 also, or you can call it like prefix of n minus 1 minus prefix of I. दोनों में से कुछ भी बोल दो. Okay. So suffix sum of I plus 1 भी बोल सकते हो इसको, right? Because you can calculate suffix sum also similarly. So suffix sum वाला method से मैं बता देता हूँ, it will be easier for me to explain because मैंने कोड भी उसमें लिखा हुआ है. So right sum finally will become equal to what? It will become equal to suffix sum of I plus 1. So I plus 1 onwards you have to find sum of all the elements and then subtract a of I multiple number of times. So in totality, how many number of times you are subtracting a of I? N minus 1 minus I, because these were the number of terms in the right sum. So minus n minus 1 minus I into a of I. Got it? So in totality, our resultant of I, or let's say answer of I will be equal to left sum plus right sum. अच्छा जी, देख लेते हैं what is left sum. Left sum is I into a of I minus prefix sum of I minus 1. So it is I into a of I minus prefix sum of I minus 1, correct? Plus suffix of I plus 1 plus suffix of I plus 1, okay, minus this one. तो इस तरीके से अपना आ गया minus n minus 1 minus I into a of I. So we can simply calculate left and right separately also, right? You can calculate left and right separately also, but this is how you can do it. थोड़ी सी मैथ लगाई, थोड़ा सा जुगाड़बाजी किया, इधर उधर टर्म्स किया, आ गया आंसर. Is it clear or not, folks? Is it clear or not? क्लियर है जी? क्लियर है, बिल्कुल क्लियर है. ओके जी, ओके, सुपर क्लियर. कोड कर ले, कोड दिखा दूंगी करना है, और शुड आई जस्ट शो इट? Is this approach covered in previous classes? Undefined, the prefix sum and suffix sum approach is covered in previous classes, but this subtracting and adding is something that you have to do on your own. चलो जस्ट ड्राई रन कर देते हैं विद एन एग्जांपल, ठीक है? तो एक बार ड्राई रन करके दिखा देते हैं, बस कोड फिर बस दिखा दूंगा आप, ठीक है? एक बार ड्राई रन करके दिखा देता हूँ. अच्छा, एक काम करो, पहले कोड देख लो, देन आई शो यू, देन आई ड्राई रन. ठीक, लेट्स लुक एट द कोड फर्स्ट. ठीक है, आई वोंट कोड करता नहीं हूँ, क्या वो लिखा हुआ पड़ा है मेरे पास, वो देख लो. ठीक है, ट्राई कर लेना खुद से कोड करने का. जावा में लिखा हुआ पड़ा है, जावा में दिखा देता हूँ. All right, I hope the screen is visible. Let me turn on the chat for you. Is the code visible? Java code, is it visible? All right. Okay, it is visible. So now what I'll do now, folks, थोड़ा सा ना इसमें prefix sum and suffix sum I have not calculated अलग से. So basically I need basically left sum and right sum, correct? I need prefix sum and suffix sum में मेरे को I need left sum. Left sum is basically sum from error 0 to error I plus 1, correct? And I need right sum. Right sum is basically sum from error I plus 1 to error n minus 1. तो हम चाहें तो हम prefix और suffix से भी कर सकते हैं. I can code it for you using prefix and suffix if you want, but this was kind of a better way, right? That is why I did it like this. एक बार आपको prefix और suffix से, चलो prefix और suffix, I think you will be able to do it on your own. I'll maybe try to explain this. So what I did was I took a left sum and I took a total sum and I took a error dot length. So let's say we have a left sum. Let's say if I have my left sum, which is my sum from, let's say I have my left sum, which is my sum from ARR 0 plus ARR 1 plus and so on and so forth plus ARR I. ठीक है, I minus 1. ठीक है, let's say this all is my left sum. ठीक है, this all is my left sum. If I add this, right, if I add, अगर मैं इसमें if I add, you know, ARR I and the right sum, don't you think I'll get a total sum? So basically my point is that left sum plus ARR I plus right sum is basically equal to total sum only. Is this thing clear or not, folks? तो ये फॉर्मूला यूज किया एक तरीके से टू फाइंड द लेफ्ट सम एंड राइट सम अकॉर्डिंगली. सो लेफ्ट सम को हमने 0 से इनिशियलाइज कर दिया. टोटल सम विल फाइंड. टोटल सम हमने पहले से निकाल के रख लिया. We have iterated over the array once completely, right? And we have found the total sum. Total sum plus equal to num करते करते we found the total sum now. And n is equal to the length of the array. Now we have created an answer array. We've created an answer array, right? So now what we'll do is, so if we do like this, अगर हम ऐसा करते हैं ना, let me share the Java code. Okay. So now what we'll do is, if we do it like this, na, that hey, keep adding left sum, keep adding answer of I error I to the left sum, and then find the answer. So left sum will be basically sum from 0 to I, because हमने I वाला पहले से ऐड कर दिया, because we are keeping on adding I again and again and again. So now left sum is basically going to be error 0 to I का sum, because we must have added the previous indices also. But if we add it later on, that means the left sum is basically the sum of error 0 to error I minus 1, because हमने I वाला बाद में ऐड किया. Are you getting this point or not? Please tell me. थोड़ा confuse हो रहे हो? Is it getting clear? थोड़ा सा दिमाग लगेगा इस पे. This is not very intuitive. बता दो. चलो ठीक है, एक काम करते हैं. अगर किसी को ये समझ में आता है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, ठीक है. I'll share this code also. Java का I will share this code. Java का I will share this code. But just for the sake of simplicity, right? Because right, I have explained it to you in a different manner. Let me code it for you in that manner. ठीक है. फटाफट से I'll show you the code. I'll do the code in the same manner as we discussed in C++. अभी सामने live कर देते. Okay. Let's see. चलो. See. But we'll do as discussed. Int n is equals to num dot length निकाल लेंगे. Num dot size निकाल लिया. We will create two vectors. Vector int prefix sum of size n and vector int suffix sum of size n again. Let's find prefix. पहले prefix find करेंगे. So for int I equals to 0, I is less than n plus plus I. Okay. Prefix of I, hey, is I equal to 0? If yes, prefix of I is equals to arr I only, or let's call it nums of I only, right? Otherwise it is prefix of I minus 1 plus nums of I. I hope this is clear. I hope this prefix sum calculating is clear. I'm not going to explain this again because this has been done a lot of time. Similarly, let's find suffix. Let's find suffix. Now here we will iterate in the ulta direction. I is equal to n minus 1. I is greater than or equal to 0. Minus minus I. Now here suffix of I is equals to, hey, is I equal to n minus 1? If yes, our answer is nums of I only. Otherwise, our answer is suffix of I plus 1 plus nums of I. Now we have our suffix sum also. यहाँ तक clear है? Prefix और suffix निकाल लिया. Please tell me. Please write yes or no in the chat. We just found prefix sum and suffix sum. All right, let's go forward. Now we will just simply copy paste the formula that we had written on the iPad here. This is exactly what we'll do. So क्या करेंगे? Iterate over the whole array. Okay. So first we'll have a vector answer also. Sorry, let's have a vector answer also. Vector of int answer of size n. Now iterate over the whole array for int I equals to 0, I is less than n plus plus I. Okay. Now here int left sum is basically equals to, left sum नहीं बोलेंगे, मतलब like basically let's call it prefix sum is equals to that, hey, is I equal to 0? If I is equal to 0, then the sum of my left elements is going to be 0 only. मेरे left में कोई है ही नहीं. Otherwise the prefix sum will be prefix of I minus 1. Does this make sense or not, folks? If I is equal to 0, then nothing is on my left, so 0. Otherwise prefix of I minus 1 as we discussed. Similarly, suffix sum is I equal to n minus 1. If it is n minus 1, then 0. Otherwise it should be suffix of I plus 1 as we discussed. Now we will simply write the formulas for what we discussed. One is left sum. The left sum formula that is written for me is I into nums of I into error I minus prefix sum. The right sum formula that is written here on the iPad is suffix sum minus n minus 1 minus I into nums of. So as we calculated ourselves, I'm just copy pasting it from there, right? Left sum aa gaya, right sum aa gaya. Now I will simply say, like we discussed, answer of I is nothing but left sum plus right sum. Folks, follow कर रहे हो नहीं कर रहे हो? Suffix sum minus. Okay, thank you. All right. So now after we are done with everything, we will simply return our answer. Let's try to see if this is working or not. Let me try to run the code. Okay, it is accepted. Let's try to submit it now. एक्सेप्टेड हो गया जी, बहुत बढ़िया, मजे आ गए. All right. So now time complexity in this case is, folks, O of n only. So all we have done is एक बार iterate किया to find the prefix sum, then again I iterate किया to find the suffix sum, then again I iterate ही तो किया है, बाकी तो सब O1 में ही हो रहा है. So overall time complexity will be 3n. Extra space rule लग रही है, you are right. Extra space we are using for prefix and suffix. So time complexity is also O of n, and space complexity is also O of n. Time complexity and space complexity both are O of n. संस्कार सिंह, लॉजिक बिल्डिंग अच्छी है आपकी, अब सीपी ट्राई करेंगे. सरकास्टिकली बोल रहे हो, आई होप. आई होप सरकास्टिकली बोल रहे हो, बिकॉज मैंने बहुत सीपी करी है अपने लाइफ में. फिर से फ्लेक्स करके दिखा दूंगा मैं. चलो, हाँ सर, कैसे मेरे को सीपी से याद आया, वन मोर थिंग दैट यू कैन डू. देयर इज अ देयर इज अ देयर इज अ 50% चांस आई माइट डू इट टुमारो. देयर इज दिस कॉन्टेस्ट टुमारो. कल ये कॉन्टेस्ट है div 1 div 2. यू कैन ट्राई. इट्स गोइंग टू बी टफ. एटलीस्ट एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करो तो अच्छा होगा. नहीं, वॉच पार्टी नहीं कर सकते भाई, ये लाइव कॉन्टेस्ट है. नहीं नहीं नहीं, ठीक है, यू कैन ट्राई इट. See, this is div 1, and div 1 contests are generally very tough because I can't participate in div 2. See, बोलता है rating should be between 0 and 199. So I fall into div 1, so I'll have to register for div 1 only. So that is why I don't want to spend, मतलब मेरे को इतना दिमाग नहीं लगाना honestly. चलो, anyway, 8 बजे, like I said, 8:05. Okay, let's come back to this. You will do div 2. आप div 1 नहीं कर पाओगे, you will do div 2. But you can do ना in future. जैसे see, yesterday was a holiday, right? So yesterday you could have tried this div 3. So you can start participating in div 4s and div 3s. You can try at least div 4s and div 3s. Div 4s में I think you should be able to solve at least 3 problems, if I'm not wrong. Div 3 में you should be able to solve at least 2 problems. कम से कम 2-3 तो होनी चाहिए, दोनों में 2-3 होनी चाहिए. Div 3 as div 4 is the easiest contest. Div 3 is a little harder than that. Okay, div 2 is more harder. Div 1 is the hardest. I think div 4 में 3-4 हो जाने चाहिए. एकांश यार, ये सेटअप करने के लिए YouTube पे सर्च कर लो यार. So just search how to set up, like just search how to set up something and you will find conversation with the showrunner of Shark Tank India. बढ़िया. I will watch this later on. Fastest way to learn coding. Skincare products. चलो, okay. Let me repeat the code once again. ठीक है? Then we will. Okay, let me dry run this with an example. Okay, then we will call it a day for today. Let me dry run this with an example as discussed. Then we'll call it a day for today. So this is what the example was, right? तो ऑल राइट, सो सी लेट्स ट्राई टू सी व्हाट विल बी आवर प्रीफिक्स सम. पहले प्रीफिक्स सम कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं. तो प्रीफिक्स सम विल बी व्हाट 1 5 11 19 29. करेक्ट. ओके, कॉल इट अ नाइट. ठीक है. एंड देन सफिक्स सम विल बी, वो यहां से कैलकुलेट करना स्टार्ट होगा. 10 18 18 प्लस 6 24 28 एंड देन 29. करेक्ट है. ऑलराइट, करेक्ट है. प्रीफिक्स सम आ गया, सफिक्स सम आ गया. तो नाउ फॉर्मूला चिपकाते रहना है यार बस. दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट वी हैव टू डू. सो नाउ we'll come here, right? We'll try to calculate the left sum. For left sum, it should be I into A of I. It was I into A of I minus prefix of I minus 1. So I into, so इसके लिए अपना जो left होगा, so left sum होगा. So for 1, left sum, मतलब मैं इसका फॉर्मूला लिख देता हूँ वैसे. It's I into A of I minus prefix of I minus 1, correct? And for right sum, the formula was it was, I think, suffix of I plus 1 minus n minus 1 minus I into A of I. ये था. ठीक है, कर लो भाई. तो वो बोल रहा है बेसिकली ये होगा लेफ्ट वालों के साथ का आंसर, ये होगा राइट वालों के साथ का आंसर. तो इफ 1 का लेफ्ट वालों के साथ का आंसर देखें, इट शुड कम 0. फॉर्मूला से क्या आ रहा है, लेट्स सी. सो I into A of I, यानी कि 0 into 1 because I is 0 minus prefix of I minus 1 भी 0 ही होगा because if I is equal to 0, इसके पीछे कुछ है ही नहीं, 0. तो लेफ्ट सम इज 0. लेफ्ट सम इज 0 इन दिस केस. चलो राइट सम पे आ जाते हैं. सफिक्स ऑफ I plus 1. So suffix of I plus 1 is what? 28 minus n minus 1 minus I will be n minus 1 is 4 minus 0, तो 4 आ जाएगा. 28 minus 4 into A of I 1, कितना आ गया जी? 24 आ गया. जिस करेक्ट, 24 आ गया करेक्ट. ठीक है, ऐसे करते करते बाकी भी आ जाएंगे. 2-3 और करा देता हूँ. ठीक है, 2-3 और दिखा देता हूँ आपको कि सही आ रहा है. तो फॉर्मूला ये, इसमें तो ट्राई रन करने लायक कोई मेरे हिसाब से है नहीं है. आई विल शो यू द फॉर्मूला दैट इट इज वर्किंग करेक्टली. सो देन वी कम हियर. ओके, लेफ्ट सम का फॉर्मूला पता है, राइट सम का फॉर्मूला पता है. वी नो दैट I is equals to 1 at this point and A of I is equals to what? 4 at this point. ये अपने को पता है, ये चीजें अपने को पता है. सो नाउ so now let's try to do this. I into A of I will be 4 minus prefix of I minus 1. Prefix of I minus 1 is, so I into A of I is 4 minus prefix of I minus 1 is 1. So 4 minus 1. तो लेफ्ट सम आपका आ गया जी 3. So लेफ्ट सम आपका आ गया, इस केस में 3 आ गया. Now let's look at the right sum. Suffix of I plus 1, which is 24 minus 4 into n minus 1 minus I. n minus 1 minus I आपका हो जाएगा n minus 1 is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3. तो 3 into 4 हो जाएगा. So 3 into 4 will be 12. 24 minus 12 will be 12 only. Correct? 12. तो राइट सम हो गया आपका 12. लेफ्ट सम वाज 3. तो 12 plus 3 करोगे तो आ जाएगा 15. 15 is the answer. 15 is the answer. आ रही है समझ में? करने की जरूरत है पूरा, ये समझ गए? इसी तरीके से बाकी भी आ जाएंगे फॉर्मूला से. समझ गए? ओके. Is it enough for today's class? I think it is enough for today's class. What do you think? I hope you enjoyed today's class. I think it was a good mix of beginner level problems and the last problem was good. So now next class will be, of course, day after tomorrow, and it will have good problems. It will have better problems than these problems. दिमाग लगेगा, ठीक है? करेंगे, विल ट्राई टू डू 3 प्रॉब्लम्स. अगर नहीं कर पाए 3 तो क्या कर सकते हैं, बट विल ट्राई. इफ वी आर नॉट एबल टू कंप्लीट all 3 problems, I will probably give the last problem as a homework, right? Whatever we can discuss, but yeah, we'll try to do it. Because the formula is wrong, Alimur. Somebody is asking why total sum minus a of I into n is failing, because the formula is wrong. That is a simple answer. हमने सही तरीके से formula निकाला तो it is going to pass. Yes, the next class will be taken by me. Suraj, next class will be taken by me. Okay, so chalo, let's do poll for the feedback. Okay, feedback दे दो for this particular class. Okay, please get feedback for this class. Waiting for the feedback. Feedback दे दो भाई सच सच. Around 20% people have not answered. Please answer. I'm not watching the chat अभी. Please, so अगर कुछ लिख रहे हो तो I'm not watching it right now. So okay, ये आ गया अपना. Okay, let me export this. Notes को export कर रहा हूँ मैं. असली नॉलेज सच सच डीएसए अच्छा जी. Still 10% people have not answered. Please answer कर दो folks. आपके समझाए हुए कॉन्सेप्ट बहुत अच्छे से क्लियर होते हैं भैया. थैंक यू फॉर दैट सूरज. ऑल राइट, चलो. लास्ट क्वेश्चन नॉट रिलेटेड टू सॉर्टिंग. इन अ वे इट वाज, इट्स जस्ट दैट द क्वेश्चन में ही पहले दे दिया था. क्वेश्चन में ही उन्होंने सॉर्ट करके दे दिया था. द क्वेश्चन इन itself was that you are given a sorted array. So if it was not a sorted array तो हम पहले सॉर्ट करते फिर इसके बारे में सोचते, राइट? या दैट इज व्हाई यू कैन से इट वाज काइंड ऑफ सॉर्टिंग का था, बट वो प्रॉब्लम ने एक स्टेप मेरे लिए पहले से करके दे दिया कि इट इज सॉर्टेड. चलो ऑल राइट, चलें फोक्स, लेट्स गो. सौम्य सिंह मुझे आज चांस नहीं दिया. ठीक है सौम्य, कोई नहीं, आई विल गिव यू चांस इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास. नेक्स्ट क्लास में मैं याद रखूंगा सौम्य को चांस देना. चलो ओके, गुड नाइट. थैंक यू नवनीत. ठीक है, आज फिर फीडबैक दे दो बढ़िया उसमें डिस्कॉर्ड में. मोटिवेशन फॉर द नेक्स्ट क्लास. मोटिवेशन तो आती है यार, बिल्कुल आती है. तो एक ना अच्छी सी फीलिंग आती है कि चलो आज अच्छा पढ़ाया मैंने, बिकॉज स्टूडेंट्स आर सेइंग कि समझ में आया. इसकी क्विक शॉर्ट में मल्टीपल पीपल वर सेइंग कि डिफिकल्ट है, बट सिंपल सम पीपल वर आल्सो अप्रिशिएटिंग कि आपने अच्छे से यू नो इन डेप्थ पढ़ाया, जो जनरली लोग नहीं पढ़ाते. तो विच इज नाइस कि चलो ठीक है, आई एम डूइंग इन द राइट ट्रैक कि मेरे को इन डेप्थ पढ़ाना ही चाहिए. जिनको पढ़ना है उनके तो काम आए. Pooja, if you are able to understand and follow, right? If you are able to solve problems on your own, कुछ कुछ समझ में आ रहा है, then that is fine. You can do that, right? अगर नहीं समझ में आ रहा है तो I would suggest you to catch up as soon as possible. All right. चलो okay folks, let's go. I'll have to go now because मैंने डिनर नहीं किया है, and फिर और लेट होगा तो मम्मी डांटेगी कि इतनी लेट हो गया. तो yeah, I'll have to go now. ठीक है. All right. Bye bye. Good night. हाँ, पानी पी लूंगा नीचे जाकर. बाय.